West Coast.
Oh yeah, you know I had to turn it up for one time. Elliott, you ready? DJ Hed, you ready?
West Coast.
Hey Jeremy, you ready?
They know it's time.
Let's get it. It's a cold game, cold world, that's why we talk about it. Ain't like everybody else that'll just walk around it. Views are different, snap a picture and now it's vintage. Cause it ain't just talking for the views, that's how he meant it. It's the bigger picture. Yeah, it's the bigger picture. Yeah, it's the big picture.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. The bigger picture.
That's the new thing. I'm fucking with that.
Veggie
Chat.
lovers.
Hey,
Meat
chat.
lovers.
The meat lover.
Pizza.
The
Meat
meat
lovers
lo-
pizza.
No, the
Meat
meat
lovers
lovers.
pizza.
Meat lovers.
The meat lovers
I'm
is
having
crazy.
meat lovers pizza tonight. Meat lovers.
Yeah, the meat lovers. I like that.
So
I
like
like
you
that.
and Maul and shit think you're holding it out because you don't eat no meat.
No,
Nah,
you love a good veggie. You love sticks though, like veggie sticks. You love long shaped
Put a veggie stick in your mouth?
cucumbers,
No.
eggplants.
I don't eat long-
All
you be
that is on
swallowing
your
I
veggie
eat
pizza,
diced
not
cucumbers.
ours.
Diced and sliced cucumbers.
Oh, so you slice your meat.
You like
Lorena
chomping on,
Bobbitt.
you like chomping on some veggie sticks.
yeah. So dip
Yeah.
too. He gets some
Hey,
ranch.
Put in some dip.
Dip
You
that
dipping
shit
it.
in ranch.
Why you gotta dip
I'll
that
out
shit?
debate any of the meat lovers.
Dipping some veggie sticks in
Why are
ranch
you hanging with
dressing.
meat lovers? It's funny as fuck.
You want
CT,
extra
you
ranch
got this?
dressing?
CT, you got it. That's the clip. That's the clip.
We're not the
sticks?
meat lovers.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Meat lovers.
That was the chat
You're the
said.
stick dipper. The stick dipper and the meat lovers.
Ranch
That's-
dressing.
The chat said
Stick
y'all are
dipper.
meat lovers, champ.
Veggie stick dipper.
And they said I can't call women champ.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was
Fun.
maybe the craziest part of the clip. Yo, champ, I got a cracked rim.
Have you ever had snail?
I got a crack rim.
Yes, but what's crazy is I had it once, and anytime someone mentions snail outside of context, I smell a snail, and I only have it from that
Smell
point
a
specific
snail.
time
Elliott
that I
Wilson.
smelled it.
Yes,
Have you
sir.
had snails before?
I have not.
Is that white people shit?
It might be.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm 25% Greek part of me hasn't tapped into that though. I don't know.
You like a good hero though?
A hero. This is Elise, our producer extraordinaire.
Is that
Hey.
some Greek food?
Gyros,
I enjoy
yeah.
Greek food, yes. Hero. Oh, chicken hero. Hero too?
Chicken gyro.
What's that little sauce? Not the ranch. It's a tzatziki.
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 All right, we about
I
to
enjoy
start
that.
the show.
Are we live? Okay, this is a disclaimer before we start the show. If you are someone who is like, all they do is talk about Drake and Kendrick, can we get an episode? Not this week.
Because Drake dropped a video.
Drake dropped a music video.
And he's back.
And there's more lawsuit news, and there's more tour news. So if that's you, if
Are
you
we
hate
live?
seeing
Are we
us,
live?
we're live, then turn this TV off, okay? But we got news to talk
you
about.
dreamed of that in the bathroom.
I'm ready
You
to
was
pod
practicing
today.
the whole TV off
I'm
shit.
ready to go.
I'm going to say TV off, man. And that- I'm going to wow Hed and
Yeah.
Elliott real quick with that.
Yo, if you were watching this and your palms are sweaty and your knees weak, arms are heavy,
Did it impress you guys though?
No.
Were you a little impressed? You kind of liked it, right?
No.
That was good. I know you were gonna say no. That's why I turned to Elliott and asked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
ask Elliott.
Were you impressed?
Was I
with
more
that
impressed by the Nokia video?
Oh, that little
Oh,
transition.
Lord.
A little transition.
No banter at first. I'm Elliott Wilson.
Jeremy Hecht,
DJ Hed, the soft guy.
the soft guy.
That soft girl hater.
Yeah, did you get any responses after last week's episode where you crashed out on soft girl?
I did
eras?
get a couple
You said
of...
it wasn't a crash out, too.
It was not a crash out. Like, it wasn't like a stereotypical Elliott Wilson crash out. You know what I'm saying? That was...
Why am I always your example? Why am I crash out stereotypical?
Well, because Jeremy Hecht not a nigga. So it's like, you know, like I
He
don't.
crashed out
Oh,
for
you
the
be
queen,
bullying
don't you?
Jeremy Hecht, or you need to stop. So I start, you know, just do using
when he
you.
crashed out, he
He
protected
needed a target.
when he crashed out, he actually protected a black woman, Doechii. He's protecting of Doechii. When you crashed out, you were critical of a black woman.
I wasn't critical. How you know
and
she
they
was
want to
black?
go on a date with you.
How you know she was black?
That's true.
Ari
That's
Lennox.
You know
Oh,
what
we
I'm
don't
saying?
know
true. Oh,
your
you don't date
preferences,
black
though.
and brown women?
No, I just said
That's
how
not
you
your
know she was
preference?
black.
I'm assuming that you would date more black or brown.
No, I like
sisters.
ethnic women for sure. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to I ain't gonna say her name no more. I said I wouldn't say her name no more on the air, but I used to I used to say her name on the radio all the time.
Really?
Yeah,
One of your shorties?
She was a
You
Mexican
like Mary
woman.
Adams, one of my shorties?
When I was 19, she was 31. She's a Mexican woman from Long Beach. She made
Oh,
me a
you have
man.
mentioned her in this program.
Yeah.
Go to previous episodes of the Bigger Picture.
Yeah, she made me a man. You know what I'm saying?
That better than what
And
happened
she
to
asked you,
YG.
she said-
though,
I didn't
'cause that
lose
she
was-
my-
that
said,
was-
she said no mas. Stop talking
Huh?
about it.
I was saying YG's age difference was much different.
Why
You
you
were
gonna
at
make
least
this dark?
19. I didn't want to go dark this early.
Did that woman take
I didn't wanna
advantage of
go-
you, DJ? You can be honest with
Hell
us.
no.
Did she take advantage of you?
She
though?
told.
How
hey,
old were you again?
I was 19. She was 31.
Okay, you are.
She was a real nigga though.
He is
She was like, no.
She was legal, yeah.
She was a real one. She told me straight up, she's like, look, I don't know if you have a relationship or you have a girl. I'm not trying to take you away from your girl or anything. I just want to see you.
About her again,
you sexy as fuck. I was like, I'm 19. I'm like, word? That's crazy.
So she gave you confidence.
Can I ask a personal question?
Yeah.
It's in the YG verse. Did she make you eat a culo?
No, she didn't make me do shit.
She didn't force him to. She asked him.
She didn't make me do anything.
The name YG sick, man.
No, she didn't make me do anything. I was a willing participant in all of it.
Consensual.
For years.
Consensual sex.
Yes.
Okay, so not even though it was consensual.
And
do you think it played a role in how it shaped you going forward, how you view women or how you interact with women?
No.
What factor did
I didn't
play
lose
in
my
that
virginity
factor?
to her. She made me a man. I went from boy to man.
So then it got your confidence. So then it did it got your confidence. It made you feel more confident as a man how to maneuver with a young lady.
I put it to you this way.
Or older lady in this case.
YN. There are
YN. He likes me again.
There are very, I'm no you I mean, you can run the Carfax, but that woman made sure I knew what the fuck I was doing out here in these streets.
Preparation.
Yeah, buddy.
All right.
I salute to you. Wherever you at. I was looking for you for like 10 years. Couldn't find you.
Okay, now last thing she said you can't speak about it no more?
No, I didn't talk to her, but she had a kid when I used to rock with her, and now the kid probably like be outside.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? so I don't want to keep saying her name.
The DJ set?
Yeah,
about my mama?
Like low key, the kid probably like 20.
You're making it tough for him in college.
22 probably right now. So it's like
the homies might be watching the bigger picture.
Yeah,
you know
her like if I like is he talking about your mama?
you turned him into an OVO stan.
You know,
he saw DJ Hed. He's like, nah, I'm Team
listen,
Drake.
Man. Shout out to your mom's champ. She made Unc a man.
Somebody who thinks they're a man again is this guy Drake, man.
That was a good transition.
He's walking around.
You can't say that word no more.
You can use it in context. I'm using it in context of transitioning from one topic to another.
All right.
So the energy I see in it this week, you correct me, fellas, if you think I'm wrong, is that it's very victorious and glorious for Drake right now.
What you mean?
A good week for the boy.
In what way?
Hey, jumping ahead. Hey.
No.
That he put out a video, a long-awaited video that appears to be well-received, mostly, majority well-received. Lawsuit progression, I guess this still going forward.
Why y'all freeze frame on his mouth like that? Like that was completely unnecessary.
It's one of
you know what I'm saying?
pivotal scenes of the thing.
Bro, you know how many, first of all,
they're gonna think you was behind that decision.
I'm an
DJ
editor, Elliott Wilson.
Okay.
Not an editor like editor-in-chief.
Okay.
But I'm an editor, I edit videos. Okay. There are things called frames. And they could have just went 2-3 frames.
Is that a better frame? Is that more respectful?
Better frame. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Like, damn.
Because you didn't want Drake's mouth open, is what you're trying to say. Drake just opened his mouth.
You didn't want it gaping.
You didn't want that.
Don't say you didn't want that. You didn't want that.
It's always y'all always got to just do one notch too for this. Just one notch.
That's white boy humor. We take it one step.
That was real Andrew Schultz of you. You want his mouth gaping.
Take it one step too far. Yeah.
Big W for Drake though.
Did you like the video?
Big W?
Did you like the video?
I did like the video. But again, everybody knows I'm not in the greatest terms with all things Drake, right?
No. What?
Go for it.
I am a fan of a gentleman named Theo. I think I've stated before. Theo Scudra, who directed this video. You know, basically he's been sort of Drake's, I guess, creative director in a sense. Does everything, photography, shot some of the videos recently. I'm a big fan of his work because he was the creator of the Rap Radar podcast. He shot it and, we'll forever be connected that way. And I'm a fan of him. He's a good dude. And I like the video a lot. I saw people saying, well, it's kind of PG Lang-esque, and this is firing back at Kendrick and these elements that way. Well, I will say, in Theo's defense, that black and white stuff is his aesthetic. I saw a lot of people saying also like it's Nokia. Why didn't you put it in color? Like why is it black and white? I thought they made some daring choices. Obviously, I felt like they did what it was reactive things to Kendrick. Obviously in the video. Also, they brought back the choreographer. What's her name? The sister.
She did Hotline Bling.
Hotline Bling. She did In My Feelings.
Yeah.
And black women are being celebrated in that video in a way that's not about strippers. It's a more clean, wholesome way of celebrating dance and women, which is different for him. And but I thought he executed it well. I thought it was engaging. It drew me in. It's a victory to me for him.
So is this the first?
Give him a W, big W.
Is this the first would you say right? Because you said he's had nothing but missteps since the back and forth.
I think it's probably his biggest win.
This is the first correct step since then. That's what you're saying?
It's the most correct step, yes. But again, where's Party can't even get a cameo in the videos? I mean, they're still on the Party album.
It's not Party's record.
Yeah, they used them for the
Party
marketing.
album. So I said that before. Remember I said like a previous episode of the Bigger Picture. What if that was really Drake's lead single for his album? Imagine how exciting it would be. But it's like, okay, now it's like, it almost feels like he ran his like, he tested his heat, like he checked himself with the Party record to see if, how's he looking out here, right? And then now I Catch Fire. Okay, this will lead my album now, right? Is that fair to say? It seems like looking back at the Party record, it was kind of like a heat check, right, of our album. So I think it's kind of a disservice right there. Also, I want to give credit to, because I didn't really realize it in real time, but the producer, his name is Elkin, I believe. He's the one with the baby girl. And it's interesting because to me, like, obviously you see a lot of Drake's records, there's multiple producers on one song, but this record was solely produced by this kid, and he's from Africa, right? Mm-hmm. And it seemed like a lot of it was his vision of this, putting this record together, and, props to him. He came out of nowhere, and it's part of that moment. So I think he deserves props too. But yeah, I think it's a win for Drake. I still feel like Dot is winning bigger, which is why I coined the phrase. Dot era. I coined the phrase the Dot era.
Coined by Elliott Wilson.
I still feel like we live in a Dot era, but Drake got a W, clear W.
I think a few things can be true.
Okay, you could think it's L. Let's see. You guys think it's a W?
A few things can be true.
Is it a W? You like W in the chat.
Elliott, you got to let him talk.
Yeah,
you're right.
Let me land this plane.
That is true.
Wait, we'll go to that before I get to my point. There's a tweet. Somebody said something to the effect
I interrupt Jeremy too much.
This
I need some mouth tape, like the homie that gets his preparation
dangerous.
together in the morning.
And you don't lose your mustache. It's going to be bad.
That'll be bad, too.
Yeah.
They said, at Elliott Wilson, you a legend in the game. Giving you your flowers first.
He led with love.
Have some of the best and my personal favorite interviews ever. And have contributed so much to the culture. Haven't missed one ep of the Bigger Picture.
It's a setup for the cook.
Here we go. But for the love of God.
For the love of God, put Jesus in the spot.
Let Jeremy Hecht finish his sentences/thoughts. Please. They were begging.
Jeremy,
yes.
Is this a safe space?
No.
This is a safe
space. Let this nigga finish his shit.
This is a safe space.
Can I ask him something before we get into it?
That's what he just talked about. All right, go ahead.
I'm asking. He gave me permission.
You can ask a question.
Do you feel like I interrupt you?
Yes.
What you mean? Okay. You know what you would interrupt a meteorite headed for Earth.
But I give you grace because I don't ever think it's malicious. I think you always just have a thought that pops into your head, and you're like, I need to get this out. I just need to let this out.
Okay. And I said, I hit the gentleman back. I said, another one jumped in, co-signing, right? Oh yeah, dead ass. Much love, Elliott. But he was doing that shit all the time. Like DJ Head came in with the extra comment. Is that your?
Yeah, DJ Head said justice for.
It's fucking life 187. Your burner account, your Finsta. That's you.
I don't got burner accounts. I'm a man.
True. So I said Elliott 2 T's to homeboy at the end, and I said,
correction, yeah.
I'll work on it. So I will work on it.
Okay. All right. Well, I take no malice.
Man,
I don't
just
think
say
that's
what you gotta
okay.
say.
All right. So back to Drake. So I think a few things can be true at the same time. All right. One, I think we can all acknowledge, at least I will acknowledge, the song is a hit. It may not be a #1 record. It may not be Luther right now, but it is a hit song. I think it still has potential to grow on the charts. I personally do like the song. I think, too, we can admit women are liking this song, too. Okay? I have no problem admitting. I don't think that they like that line on Give Me a Hug. I still don't think the entire album is made for women and that a lot of men are enjoying it. But women are enjoying Nokia. I see it all on TikTok. They're doing the dances. Okay? There's women in the video dancing. That's amazing. We can also admit that this video was heavily inspired by Mr. Kendrick Lamar. We can admit that there are at least 6 scenes in this video that were trying to imitate.
That interruption, my bad. 6.
Yes.
That were imitating.
Action.
That were imitating Kendrick Lamar. Okay. So right now we see on the screen. The clear one there was the Super Bowl circle where Kendrick was in the middle and there was all these dancers and Kendrick was doing that little shimmy dance. I won't do too much of it because DJ Head will tell me to stop dancing. But Drake was clearly referencing that. We had the reference in the hallway where Drake was had the thing on his head, and Kendrick had a very similar looking thing, and that's when he did the broccoli snippet, okay? We had the owl at the end, which was a clear reference to Kendrick saying the caged owl. He's done. He's in the cage, and Drake is setting his owls free. The owl is flying high and on the charts and has a hit song, okay? We had other times where there was the aerial shot of all of the dancers, okay? And in the Super Bowl, there was the aerial shot of all of Kendrick's dancers, very similar looking there. And there was the shot of Kendrick with all the people in the Not Like Us video. There was also another shot of Drake with all the people in the back. There's even the way he was dancing there. A lot of people were saying him stepping, side to side was doing the Super Bowl dance. That became a TikTok trend as well. So Drake was clearly, if it was not inspired by it, was trying to take a shot or trying to make this about Kendrick once again. And so what I want to say to all the people who are saying, Kendrick won't leave this alone, Kendrick won't let this battle die. Drake had a moment. He had a hit song. We can agree it's a hit song. It's a good song. I like the song. People are dancing to the song. Make this shit about the hit song. Why are we making this about Kendrick Lamar? And if you don't want to make it about Kendrick Lamar, if you do want to just say, hey, this is referencing, we're battling, the battle never ends, we're going to get shots from both sides forever, fine, but admit that. Don't try to act like you're above it. You are in this battle still. You want to throw shots at him still. You're referencing him in the video. So fine, let that be it. But you are not above this battle. You are not out of it. You're still in the middle of a lawsuit.
Chef Boy RJ, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
See what happens when you let the man talk?
Right.
God damn.
Now I don't got to say shit.
No, come on, DJ. How do you feel, buddy?
Yeah, what were your thoughts?
Everything he just said.
Cosign?
Everything he just said.
Well, why can't Drake react or do things that's a nod towards back? Why can't he do that?
He can.
He can. You know what I can also do?
But does that look weak to y'all? That looks like a bad move? That he should act like it didn't happen?
He should have made it about his moment. If he wants the rest of the year to be about his moment and not tied to Kendrick.
But the moment may be F that guy, I'm still the man. So I'm gonna mock his thing or playfully do something that reacts to that. I mean, why can't he do that?
He can.
But that doesn't seem strong to y'all. It seems more strong to act as if everything is just like clean slate.
I think if you have an opportunity to take your moment and the moment is solely yours. For instance, let's say Dot did the Super Bowl and none of this ever happened. The past year didn't happen. And Dot did the Super Bowl, and there was still some tension behind the scenes, little subliminal bars, whatever, how we make out of hip hop between these guys, the big three, over the last 10 years or whatever, right? But let's say this back and forth never happened. Dot wouldn't do this with his platform because his moment is about him.
Okay, but so what's the difference though? Dot's going on tour. We all assume he's gonna do Not Like Us every night.
Yes.
Might even be the last song every night, right? The biggest record.
Maybe a couple times.
So he's not gonna move on.
No.
In a sense, right? Or to the victor go to spoils. Like he should be able to carry forth with it. But Drake, who took the L, should regroup and move on.
Bro, when Roman Reigns lost his title at WrestleMania, he don't get to fucking dance in the middle of the ring. Nigga, get your ass to the back. It's Cody time.
You're not a main eventer anymore, right?
No, you're still a main eventer, but you lost. You dropped the strap in the middle of the ring. Let Cody get his celebration on.
You guys don't think the video is a W because of the reactive moments? You counted 6. Is it a W or not?
I don't count as a W. I haven't
it's
even
not
seen.
A W.
I haven't even seen a lot of Drake fans happy with this music video. There's of course someone's gonna be on Twitter. He said Drake. Yes, there's people that love the video. There's a lot of Drake fans that are happy about this. I saw a lot of people critical of the actual video. You saw Kai Cenat, who's a Drake fan. He's like, why is this the video?
I agree.
Why
Kai did his own version of the whole video.
The video it's a fun song, it's a dance-worthy song, it's a club record. Like, this is not the time. If you want to do shots, wait, make your video where you're actually on a song throwing shots at them and you want to be like, cool, this is going to be Ja Rule and 50 Cent forever. They're always going to be tied. They're always going to be throwing shots. Instagram, right now, you could go 50, you'll probably throw a shot at Ja Rule. Like, they will always be tied to each other. So I'm not mad at the fact that he's throwing shots. It's that he did it with this song. Like, this song should be your hit. It's on the charts. It's continuing to move. It's probably going to climb. Why tie this to Kendrick?
It's a hit record.
It's a hit song.
Let it be a hit record.
So the video solidifies that it's a hit record? Do you also think? No. Do we also think can the video help it dethrone Luther, become the #1 song?
Why is it possible. The goal though?
Goal to have a #1 song?
Why is it
everybody's goal?
No. Why is it the goal to? You said dethrone Luther. Why is that?
Luther's the reigning #1 song. We look at the top 10 every day.
Yeah, but you would have said that even if it was number 3.
No, it hasn't even cracked the top 5 yet. Where's it at currently? It wasn't in the top 10 last week. Now it's back at number 7 before the video. So the whole idea is that the video gives the record more juice, right?
I think it does do
more
that.
exposure.
Yes.
So does it challenge? I think the early projections have it at number 3, but Luther's still number 1 again. So does it have to dethrone Luther? Does it have to become the number 1 song for you guys to give respect to it?
I just told you it was a hit record.
Yeah,
Elliott
I think
Wilson,
it
what
could
the fuck are you talking about?
It could be number 1.
But it's not a bigger hit as Luther.
What the fuck does that? It's a hit record.
But the thing
Because
is,
they're still battling.
it could be
They're
a number
still
1
in a
record,
battle.
and that's fine.
How are they still in the battle?
Because Not Like Us is a number 9 song in fucking
Elliott
America.
Wilson, who won
They're
the
still
battle?
in the battle.
Who won the battle?
Kendrick won the battle.
How are they still in it?
So now they're in a war now. They're in a war.
Okay, who won the war?
Kendrick is winning
How are
the
they still
war.
in the war?
Kendrick is winning the war. Because it's never going to end. They're still in they're competing on the charts now. They're battling different now. They're battling in the charts.
Elliott Wilson, what you're explaining makes sense to a certain degree, but it doesn't make any logistical sense, and it has no actual lineal prowess. Look that shit up.
How could you not? How could you say that when Not Like Us is still in the top 10? Not Like Us,
No.
the great diss song.
Listen, the South, the Confederacy. All right.
Yeah, where are we going?
RP Young Scooter. God damn it.
Yeah, the Confederacy lost the Civil War. Correct?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, he lost the battle. We're all clear of that.
Okay.
Yes.
Does racism still exist?
Yes, it does.
That's my point.
The flags are still up somewhere.
It's just because niggas are still mad don't mean the war is still going.
They don't stop
the Confederacy lost.
We can't
pull y'all flags
whether
down.
We consider them
go in the fucking house. Shut the fuck up. You can be mad in the house.
Whether we consider it a battle that ended, it should be over, or they're currently still in a war, as I just said. They're still rivals regardless. They're still the 2 big guys. They're ultimate rivals, right? So there's still competition.
If you lose a war, you lost the war. That's cool. You can still be mad about that. I'm still mad about certain shit that his people did.
No, we clarify.
No.
Not my people.
Canadians.
Canadians.
Oh, wow.
But
because what the fuck is Canadian bacon? What is that?
It is a less good version. It's more like ham. It's a less good version of. Okay, continue your point. All right, I still want to be brought into the Confederacy.
Yeah.
Go back. That's fine.
I'm just saying, bro.
The Confederate flags, the Canadian bacon.
What the fuck is that?
What?
The shit you don't like.
Yeah,
bro, that's when we made that shit up. That's American bullshit. Canadian bacon not a real thing.
It's just ham. It's really just ham.
That's what I'm saying.
And I love Canadian maple syrup.
We know honeysuckle ham when we see
But
it.
the thing, okay, if we look at like what happened after Meek Mill and Drake's battle, I think it's a good reference point because Drake wins that battle. We all admit it. Back to back is a huge song, a huge moment. No, it's okay. Regression therapy.
Hey, that's some accountability.
That was accountability.
Yeah.
That was good.
Like a kid. Good job, Elliott. Good job.
I fuck with this show.
Good job, Elliott.
Good shit.
Good job.
All right. So Drake and Meek Mill battle. We all admit that Drake won that battle. Back to back was a hit. Okay. What does Drake do? He does a victory lap. He does What a Time to Be Alive. Every song has a shot. Then he does Summer 16. Whole song is a shot. Then he does a tour, Summer 16, where he's performing that song, taking shots, and doing his whole parade victory lap around the world, okay? Now, he doesn't play back-to-back every time. Cool, you can say that. What did Meek Mill do during this time? How did Meek Mill get back into the good graces of the people? He took a break. When he came back, he poked a little fun at what happened. He said, y'all making memes, I'm making millions or something like that. He had a line about that on the song with Tory Lanez. And he basically owned up to it. He said, yes, I took my L. I'm going to make good music and I'm going to come back. Okay?
Y'all really hate
Great
Drake,
battle.
bro. Like,
No.
look at this. Why y'all pick these pictures?
This.
Meek is like, fuck that nigga. And Drake is like, hey.
Drake's like, I won.
Yeah.
I won. So all I'm saying is, Drake could have done this and put out this hit record and not made this about Kendrick. Now, I'm not saying he can't throw any shots back ever. I'm not saying that. They're going to be tied forever. But Nokia is the moment to get back into the public good graces, and you're doing it well. Why take these little jabs at Kendrick in this? I'm just saying, why this moment?
Okay, so we know Drake's...
Give me a hug video.
Drake's going to do another album, right?
Yes.
On that album, you don't want him to address Kendrick in any kind of way?
No, I do. I just didn't want him to do it on the Hit dance record. I want him to throw subs, and I want him to go back and forth.
Now I'm going to play the flip side.
You agree with that?
I'm going to play the flip side of this.
Yeah.
It's Not Like Us a hit dance record?
Yeah, it is. But it was a hit dance record in the midst of a battle.
You niggas is glazing. Y'all niggas is glazing. Y'all just make up rules. Y'all don't never hold accountable Kendrick. There you go. There's your Kendrick accountability.
Thank you.
There you go. Chat.
So then it's a counter to a hit dance record.
This is another counter that someone would say, and what would your opinion be on this? Okay, Kendrick's moment was the Super Bowl, right? It was his moment. He did bring Drake into that moment a lot. What would your response be? Because we're clearly saying like Drake should lead Kendrick out at his moment. What was the difference between the Super Bowl, in your opinion, and the Nokia video?
As far as not being able to get his shit off?
Yeah.
He won.
So, okay, so it is the victors.
Roman Reigns, get your shit, go to the locker room. Cody Rhodes, bring your daughter in the ring.
Yeah, so your thing is, if he does not like us 10 times on tour, like niggas in Paris.
He won the championship.
Again.
He won the championship.
Every night.
Yeah,
every arena.
You won the championship. You get to bring the title out every Monday Night Raw. As you choose until you lose the title. When you lose the title, you don't get to walk out every Monday Night Raw with the title.
You can compete back for it.
Nobody was complaining when Drake would gloat for 10 years. Every opportunity he got, right? Am I wrong or what?
No, he did it. And I loved it. As a fan, I loved it.
Fucking dirty macking and doing all of the slimy shit and talking shit on records and dissing niggas and quote unquote spinning blocks or whatever the fuck he said. Like nobody was saying nothing. But now, when the rapper got the gun, it's like, well, he's taking this too far. He's doing too much. Bro, it's been 1 year. We had 12 straight years of, nigga, I'll take your bitch. And so what?
So it's an uncomfortability that we're in the dot era. It's an uncomfortability to that for many people.
Don't like us. That's fine.
A West Coast nigga can't lead the culture.
No, they don't. There's a visceral reaction to it.
Ain't enough Cardi features.
Chat. Visceral.
Visceral.
Yeah.
I do think, though, that this sets a good tone for, there is an appetite, a huge appetite for a Drake solo album, because there was no party single that did well. This is Drake's solo single, and that's no shot.
Like Elliott Wilson.
That's no shot, but Drake, the two songs that are being serviced at radio are Gimme a Hug and Nokia. The song that got the music video is Nokia. The song that's a hit is a Drake solo record. There is an excitement for a Drake solo record. So I do think what this proves to him is, okay, I can take some time and actually craft an album and come back with it. Now, I think all of our reactions would have been different had he just done that in the first place and taken the time and dropped Nokia as a single and dropped a solo record. But we can't go back from there. I do think like this shows he could have a successful solo album, a super successful solo album, even in the midst of a lawsuit.
I have a accountability for this before we move on.
Okay, let me ask one thing before you give us the accountability. Does it matter to you guys if Nokia does hit #1?
No.
If it takes Luther out, let's say.
I don't give a fuck who's number one.
Nokia #1, Luther #2. That doesn't mean nothing.
If the homies, bro, the homie Buddy, he's from Compton. If he went #1, I would celebrate. If Chaperone went #1, couldn't care less. These is my people for real. So I'm gonna celebrate my people being in those spots, getting those accolades. Yes, every time. If something like, let's say Jeremy Hecht, his brother or whoever, right? I'm gonna celebrate that. Huh?
If Brandon got a #1.
Brandon got a #1, I'm gonna celebrate that. One of his childhood friends from Canada, what's it, Winnipeg?
Yeah, Winnipeg, yeah.
From Winnipeg, get a #1, couldn't give
Justin,
a fuck less.
I
don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who's #1. If the homie's #1, I'm gonna celebrate. Everybody else, kudos to you.
Is it still dot era if Nokia goes #1?
I think if Nokia gets to hit #1, and I actually will predict that in a few weeks, I think it will. I'm gonna say here that I think.
I think it
you
won't.
think
You
it
want to
won't?
make a gentleman's wager?
Okay. I don't know why I'm on this side, but okay. I think it will hit #1, and we can bet on this. I think that does prove. I think it's impressive. First of all, like we do have to admit that that's impressive. In the midst of a lawsuit, after your public reputation was potentially tarnished, after people were saying you were done and you were in a casket, to go #1 is a big deal. Like that, there's no doubt about that. But I think what that does is it kind of levels the playing field in the public's mind of like, okay, all right, Drake's. The casual fan, like, all right, he's got a #1 record. He's back. All right. The stuff that was said must not be true. Like, I don't know what's going on, but he's got a #1 record. I do think it also sets the table for his next album. And I think maybe whoever it is that's investing in his next album is going to put a little bit more money into it.
But you think it's done enough that it doesn't have to go #1? It still is a victory. It still sets the stage for
the song is a win. Yeah.
Song's already a win.
I think so.
The song is a W.
Yeah.
For sure.
What was your accountability? I'm sorry.
Oh, I look at this as Let me explain first. I am a LA fan, okay?
Really?
Just born and bred, just because. Lakers, Clippers, USC, don't matter. Bruins, whatever, right?
Mhm.
I don't like Joker. That plays for the Denver Nuggets.
Mhm.
I thought you were talking about the bar, like the
No.
yeah.
What's his name?
Or no,
Nikola.
Dodie Six bar.
Nikola Jokic.
Mhm.
I can't stand
61 points.
I can't stand
He
that
wasn't
man.
cheering 61 points?
Is it because he's white?
No. I got a lot of white friends.
Okay.
Shout out to Ernie, who fed me and stuff when I was in high school, took care of me.
Wait, what?
Shout out to Ernie.
She's a white lady.
What's in Ernie's in there?
Yeah, Ernie, she took me in when I was in high school.
Okay.
Anyway, Jeremy Hecht.
Jesus Christ.
Jokic. I can't
Yes.
stand that motherfucker, bro. Not even because I'm a Laker fan or some on Clipper, whatever, some LA shit. I can't stand him because I look at him as someone who doesn't give a fuck about being a champion.
Yeah, maybe he wanted to go back to his horses and stuff.
He just
right?
want to go raise his horses.
Yeah.
He don't give a fuck.
You like competitors.
He don't give a fuck, bro.
He don't bleed for the game. He's so
won
good.
a chip. He don't like, this is going to sound really, I'm just being honest. He doesn't, to me, exude star.
No, he struggles. Yeah, he don't want to.
He don't do interviews. He could barely. He don't like conduct himself like I am a champion. I'm here to be the champion.
Yeah.
He just want to play basketball and raise horses.
Yeah.
He don't give a fuck about interviews, press conferences, socializing.
Mhm.
He didn't even celebrate when he won a when he won a championship.
Back to the farm.
He just went to his farm like I'm out of here, straight to the showers, to the farm. Fuck everybody, fuck the champagne. I'm like, bro, what is up with this nigga, bro? I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't. He just looked like
Might be the best basketball player.
Basketball horses. You know what I'm like? And I think because I look at him like, and I've never met this man, don't know him. He might be a great guy. have no idea. He's not what I would want my champion to be. Because he doesn't relish in the fact of being a champion. He doesn't exude that star quality that I want to be the guy, right?
Yep.
He's just like a fundamental, like Tim Duncan. I just want to be here. I want to play basketball, et cetera, et cetera. That's why I don't like him. And I think the same goes for the Kendrick thing. Because Drake exudes the energy of the LeBron and like the superstars and stuff like that.
Okay.
Dot is very nonchalant about being he don't even give a fuck. And I think that the way I look at Jokic is the way that people look at Dot. It's just like, well, he don't even feel like a star. He be with his wife and he stay away from the cameras. You don't see him. Like he's elusive. No one talks to him. He go off the grid. All he care about is his craft and going back home. Yeah. And I drew the parallel when I was ranting about Jokic over last week about the game, but I drew the parallel and I was like, damn, I just thought about it. The same reason I don't like Jokic is probably the same reason people don't like Dot. He just doesn't exude like I'm here to be the number one guy. And now that he is, it's like, what is this? Like this energy.
What does this look like? Yeah.
This energy is foreign to us.
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Well, because now that he's standing on it, I think I do actually agree. I think that's why the perception of Kendrick over so much time has been, it hasn't been, like his status hasn't matched his public perception. Where he deserved to be in the conversation didn't match what people were giving him in the conversation because he is like that. For example, like somebody posted like the amount of #1 albums they both had, like #1 rap albums, and it was either even or Kendrick might have even had one more. And you look at that over the course of time, but Kendrick was doing it, he was in the cycle, and then he'd leave.
Yeah.
I even said when I first saw Kendrick do an interview, I'm like, this guy, like I was already a fan of the music. I'm like, is this guy a star? Like, does he want to be a star? Because he's so reserved, he's so laid back. And now that he's actually standing in it on GNX and saying like, he's like, I'm the guy, fuck everybody, fuck who came before me. It's my time right now. I'm the best rapper alive. And he's actually standing on it. I think people are, wait, hold on.
Yes.
You were never, no. You were, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like they're confused. But Drake has always been the guy. He's always been like the flashy rapper. Like he's had the cars, he's had the women, he's out there in the music videos, he's like doing interviews and shows and features and bringing people, like he's always wanted that's why I think it's so tough for him right now, because it's like if LeBron is that guy, and then even Curry, when LeBron and Curry were back and forth, like Curry's a lot more reserved too. He wants to be a star, but he's still like kind of laid back. He's like, even the way he plays is like, all right, I'm gonna hit a shot from half court. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? So, but do you think?
You know where that comes from too. Like, I agree with everything you guys are saying. I always look at the Jay-Z Nas parallels. Same thing.
Same thing.
When Biggie and Pac died, Jay-Z took the leadership role of hip hop. Like, I want to be the man. I'm going to lead the culture. I'm flashy. And it was Drake's blueprint. Like, those guys wanted to be outwardly the #1 guy.
For sure.
And Nas would feel like he's the best. So out of nowhere, in the shadows, here comes Nas. And he ethers him. And everyone's like, oh my God, Nas is now winning hip hop right now. He's #1. So I think Drake took a lot from Jay-Z with that inspiration. And it's important for Drake to feel like he's the man. He doesn't like feeling like he's not #1. To your point, Kendrick isn't really viewing it that way. Kendrick just knows he's the man and doesn't have to prove it to anybody.
Correct.
At the end of the day.
But that actually is a good point in terms of how Nas and Jay-Z paralleled afterwards, right? Because Jay, at the time, the public perception was he lost the battle, right?
Yep.
So Jay
he lost the
battle. Okay. Yeah. So Jay comes back though, and he still is the guy. He's still making albums as if he's the guy. Nas actually is the one who maybe took a little bit of a step back after the battle in terms of how he was stomping. Like, he wasn't stomping around, right?
It reignited the whole second leg of Nas's career, honestly. Yeah.
So
it lit a fire. It made him more competitive, which he became the man he came now, where it's like, he makes 6 records with Hit Boy. Like, he could have retired around the era and been content with what he already did in music, but I think he relit a fire in Nas.
But do you think the way Jay handled it is the way that Drake could now handle things, of just like putting out good bodies of work, still having the same stature of who he is and being confident, and like, will that work?
I think this whole album's going to tell the story. Like we expect to have some reference to Kendrick on the album.
Yeah, you have to.
But he's still got to make great records outside of that. Like, he has to show us the growth. Like you said, his nods in this video show he's not ready to fully move on in a sense. And part of what would be better for him is to fully move on.
That's it.
Right? And that's going to be tough because, again, Not Like Us is still a top 10 record. Kendrick's about to go on tour with SZA. He's going to play that record. We're going to see TikToks and videos all day of him doing it live in every city. Yeah. It's hard to escape.
They're going to stay on stream.
And Mustard will be on the beat every night.
And they brought Mustard. Yeah, they bring goddamn Mustard. So now we get TV off. TV off, Jeremy.
TV off will be there. Yep. Did you know Mustard was going to be a part of this? I know you said no one really knows anything. Was this a surprise to you?
Yes.
Here's the thing. Whatever he says, I don't believe his ass. If he said no, I don't believe him. He says yes, I don't believe either one. We can't win.
Nah,
why do you think it was announced so late in this thing?
Because, to be honest, like, I think that they've been just putting the shows together. Like, Dot is really on his game right now. Like, he's really like, he's a showman. He's a full-blown artist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's an artist. And so I think what he wants to showcase for this tour is how much of his artistry bag he can get into. Like, Mr. Morale was artistry. He had the puppet, and he played the piano, and he had some choreography. That was the first time we really get to see like something like that in a stadium from him. Now I think he wants to put on like, no, I'm an artist for real. Like, I'm about to, whatever you saw at the Super Bowl, magnify that, time at like 10x that or whatever. And that's why even when I went on stream, I was talking about the artistry with DDG. I was like, no, I think Dot is a better artist because there's more thought that goes into the art. Regardless of what you get or what you comprehend, the thought that goes into the art is nobody's parallel to that. So the Mustard thing, I think, is like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Let's do it. I don't even think it was like a planned out thing. I think my own personal opinion, I think it came together as soon as we saw it. Like, hey, you know what? Oh yeah, that makes sense. Let's do it.
Reached out, yeah.
Like, oh yeah, let's.
As he's putting the show together, realizing what he wants to do.
Yeah, oh yeah, that makes sense. Let's do it.
We should try to get Mustard to be part of this.
Right.
Yeah. One thing I do request before we go to DDG. You go on streaming platforms now. I see you out here. I don't want Kendrick, no disrespect, to do the ventriloquist thing. That used to scare the hell out of me. Mr. Morale, when he brought the dummy out, don't do that on tour. I don't want him more. He did a ventriloquist.
He doesn't do anything twice.
Okay, that was scary.
Yeah, that's like your Meet the
Grams.
You've
never seen the same concert from him twice.
Can you imagine if he does I thought about him doing Meet the Grams at a stadium. That's crazy. I don't want to think about it. But just real quick, this just was updated from 19 hours ago on touring data. Grand National Tour as of right now, 93,322 ticket sales. Tickets available North America, 90% sold out. 20 out of 23 shows. 50K estimated average capacity. And that is as of last
So the
night.
ticket sales are going well. There's always fan bases saying things aren't going well, and
Yeah.
these are going.
Listen,
going
Elliot,
well.
you listen, bro.
No, they do it to every big artist. They did it to Beyonce. Every big artist, they'll
Nicki,
find,
they always say,
it's not sold out in Seattle.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at the seats.
Like, bro, what are y'all
Is it
talking
there?
about? Bro, you talking about generational art? Beyonce? People, now, the only critique I had about that was them girls. I don't understand the no view tickets. I don't understand that.
Wait,
like,
what?
They sell tickets where you can't see the actual stage.
I got one. Last time I saw Kendrick, it was Kendrick, SZA, Isaiah Rashad, and we had a no view. Like half of my view was like a pole. I was like, what the hell is this shit?
Well, it's called a no view ticket.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
The fuck are you talking about? I
don't understand that shit. You was in the building. I'm in the building.
No, and all the girls was going to the Beyonce show dressed like cavities. And it was just like, it was just like interesting, you know what I'm saying? But anyway.
Yo, you ain't even got no view.
Yeah.
Yo, I heard the concert though. I heard it.
You heard it. He was in the building. He has a ticket stub and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you
Does
post
it
a
say no
picture.
views on the ticket?
Not on that one. I think it said altered view. It didn't say no view. But yeah, you were on DDG's stream. Shout out to DDG. Now he's the 6th most subscribed streamer. And I told him he's the most successful rapper streamer combo in terms of the highest level of both of those crafts. He has a new haircut too going on. But Hed was on there, and he received some critique online from the other side of the aisle, where they were saying that Hed was
side of the aisle.
They were saying Hed was more enthralled with, I don't think they used that word. I'm giving them credit.
They did.
But they said he was more excited to talk about his Drake songs catalog, and he was able to name B-side Drake songs, but he wasn't able to name more than the new Kendrick Lamar songs when asked. They also said that DDG pressed you about you dissing Drake. So we'll take a look at what we have here.
Why is it OVO though? What happened?
I don't know.
What happened?
Go look at his Twitter timeline.
What happened?
What'd you say on Twitter?
I was talking about DDG.
Ah, that's fire.
Yeah.
He's a gaslighter.
For real?
He's literally lying to you right now.
So what did he say then?
What haven't he said?
I be saying shit sometimes, but
Do you okay? Let me ask you this then. Do you really feel like Kendrick is a better artist than Drake?
artist? Yes.
Oh shit.
From what standpoint? Though? Like, why you feel like that?
Because, well, it also depends on what you consider to be an artist. For me, what I consider to be an artist is a complete embodiment of an artist, creatively.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about, like, I'm pretty sure dude can sing better than homie. But other than that, like, everything else will be subjective to artistry.
But you're not nowhere near biased. Be honest.
Of course I'm biased. I've been biased for 15 years.
Can you have an unbiased opinion, though?
Yes.
Your unbiased opinion is still the same answer?
Yeah.
Okay.
It all depends on what you consider to be artistry, though.
Type.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Kendrick music, but I don't think he's a better artist than Drake, personally. I just feel like Drake when I think of artists, I think of like a wide range of like, I mean, they both wide ranged, but this nigga made pop music, Spanish music,
Yeah.
hits though, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just was wondering if you really thought that, or you just biased, you know, LA and shit.
It's not LA. These is my homies for real. Like, we came up together.
Yeah.
So that's, of course, that's gonna be biased. My lineage is always gonna be that.
Type.
Yeah.
Were y'all went to the same school?
Nah, we came up together like different.
Hard knocks,
Like,
motherfucker.
we have the same community leaders. Who we fuck with.
Community
Those
leaders.
gentlemen.
Yeah,
What the
DDG.
fuck you doing on the stream, man?
Well,
You going to Neon next? What's up?
no. So
Pull up on Neon.
I know DDG.
Okay.
I've known him for a while. There are things that could be said, but it doesn't mean it doesn't need to be said. But
Please say him. I'm
Yeah, do you want-
confused right now.
I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna elaborate.
Interrupting you now. My bad.
His team reached out and was like, "Hey, DDG's doing a stream. We want you to come through, you and Gina. Me and Gina was like, all right, for sure. It's all good. I ain't tripping. I know what it is when you go on those type of platforms, just like when you hit me to go on Axe show. Like, I know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
If you are behind, not DDG, but that base of individual, when you're behind enemy lines, your best bet is to just let them do what they're going to do, right? Because no matter what you do or say, it doesn't matter. And that's what I was trying, like, I got calls from people about this, right? And it's like, yo, I'm like, bro, it's not serious. It's complete. It's just an entertainment thing. Like, even DDG's like, yo, I need the contents for the stream. Like, that's what they want to see. Like, but I also think that, which is why I don't particularly stream for a long time. Like, if I stream, I'll do it for an hour, go live when we start the show. But you won't see me streaming for 4 or 5 hours or 7 days straight, because I think it is impossible to stream for as long as people stream these days and not engage in some clown shit. Because the people are there and you have to keep them there. In radio, we call it TSL. It's called time spent listening. So look that shit up. So when you have a certain threshold of TSL or viewership that you're trying to keep, you cannot do that sustained for that long of time, because people are going to tune out or turn away or whatever. So you have to continuously do things to engage them, right? And so my problem is one of my actual issues that I have to reconcile being in this new space of media, which you went through, is I have to learn how to navigate the space in an authentic way for me. Because other than that, you'll find yourself doing clown shit for clicks.
Yeah.
I won't do clown shit for clicks, no matter whose platform I'm on. DDG's team was like, yo, we want you to come on the stream. I'm like, bet. They gave us a whole checklist of shit we can't do. Talk about, say, can't mention this girl, can't talk about the baby, can't do all the shit that he's done purposely, we can't bring up or talk about, right? But I'm like, you know what? I fuck with DDG. More importantly, the black women that work with him, I fuck with those ladies.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Gina was like, all right, bet, I'm gonna bring the card game. She brings the card game. It's like, let's play the card game. They go through all the cards. They take out all of the good shit, right? They boxed.
This is the whole Fashions card game, right?
The whole Fashions card game.
No swallow card for DDG.
Go get you a whole Fashions card game. It's really dope. They take out all the cards. So then now it's only just softball questions, softball stuff in there, like, finish the R&B lyric or whatever the case may be. So it was like you kind of go in neutered. You know what I'm saying? Look that up.
And it's pressure because it is live. Once you do it, it's live. So that's why they're trying to protect everything.
So I'm going in thinking like, oh, this is a completely neutered experience. Like, we can't. This is just for like him having rotating guests coming in and out. Cool. So then that's the first thing he talks about. So I'm like, oh, okay, I see where we're going with this. So I'm like, I'm not going to engage because everything is going to go. We're live. Everything is going to go viral. We're going to have I'll say if you go to 6 episodes, probably maybe 7 of the bigger picture, I don't engage in clown behavior, or I try not to. I had a little mini thing last week on the air, but
sometimes it just happens.
Yeah, but I don't intentionally engage.
Stay mindful.
So I answered the questions honestly, and I honestly do think that is a better artist. Like I said, because of the thought that goes into everything. I actually think that there are certain individuals who are incapable of that level of thought because they're not authentic to whatever culture they're portraying. That's not specific to rappers or artists. I'm talking about the streamers. I'm talking about certain media personalities, whatever the case may be. When you're inauthentic in a field and you're a fish out of water, you find yourself being a caricature of what you're trying to be. You know what I'm saying? So this thing was interesting to me just because, like, as soon as I walked in, I sat down, I just seen the chat going crazy. Like, all of the slurs.
So you think his audience is more of a pro-Drake fan base?
I don't want to blow DDG spot. Like, I don't want to make it seem like DDG's in the wrong. Like, this is what he does. This is his world, right? I fuck with him. But he's also like, DDG, I think he's 27. Like, that's the world he comes from or whatever. So I don't expect him to understand. He will. If he's having this conversation at 37 and not 27, I think the conversation that we be having in here, I think he has a different perspective. But that's just because that's not our world. You talking about 16-year-olds who are watching his stream who don't have to have accountability. They don't go outside. I actually asked him about stuff like that too. Like, you know, same thing I asked other people. Like, when the last time you went outside? Did you go outside when you was a kid? What you mean? Did you go outside, like, and play? And, like, did you have to go to the park? Like, I had to go to the park, Southside Park in Compton, off Greenleaf. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to go there.
Yeah.
Or else I had to deal with my cousin, Ian.
And you weren't streaming.
And we wasn't streaming that. But I had to do certain things that it builds a different resonance with you. And you can't just do and say and whatever the case may be. But when he said, I also saw people talking about, like, what is he talking about? Community leaders. Again, if you don't come from where I come from, you don't understand the lingo. I said that specifically on purpose because they out here locking niggas up. So I came up with certain community leaders as these individuals. And when you have that lineage that we have, I don't need to speak about, shout out to my dude Rocky. I saw him last night from Inglewood. We was talking about that. When you have certain things like that, you can't, it goes without being said.
Those who know.
Yeah, it ain't for you to understand.
One thing I thought was interesting too that you guys had a conversation about that we talk about here all the time and kind of was like the centerpiece of the battle was when you guys were talking about he was saying like LA music. He was like, you know, I fuck with LA. It's my dream place to live, but you know, the Kendrick stuff is a little too LA for me. And you were basically like, okay, so you don't fuck with the West Coast. That's fine. Like, yeah, that's fine. But it is funny. It's
but
like
you want to live out here.
That whole combo was like.
You know what's interesting about that conversation? And you go insert the clip. When I said that, I said, he's like, it's just too LA. What does that mean? What you mean, what does that mean? I said, what does that mean to you? Is it the bass? Is it the synthesizers? Is it the drums? What is it? Like, I don't know. I don't produce. I know you don't know. You can't even articulate why you feel this way, which means to me that you haven't put the level of thought into it that is necessary for you to even have this conversation. So why would I even defend it?
Yeah, I think people say it's like a sound, but it's really about culture, your favorite word, right? Like they're not connected to the culture, like you said.
It's not even the culture thing. It's the problem that I find when I'm discussing music is I'm discussing music with non-music people. That's usually the problem I'm having. So there's a lot of non-music people having music conversations.
Yeah.
Oh, I fuck with this song.
Well, all the streamers are. No disrespect, but all the streamers are. And they're not music experts, but
they're not music.
Their opinion matters because they have such a massive audience.
Correct. And that's where I think that we've gone aloof. Where I remember, now I'm gonna sound like the old guy in the room, but I remember like you had to have a certain level of credibility to even participate. Yeah. Now there's no barrier to entry. I love the internet. I love the streaming shit. I love all of it because it levels the playing field, and now everybody got to work harder to cut through.
Yeah,
perfect. However, I'm not competing with the people. I'm not competing with those people. If I want to have a music conversation, I have a music conversation with music niggas. Now, if I ask like the conversation we be having in here, or I do the BPM trick that everybody love, or whatever the case may be.
Is it a trick?
The BPM trick.
It's like I'm a music person first.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And then I'm able to commentate and have an opinion on music, but I'm also coming from a musical lens. It's not just, man, that shit whack. I can articulate why it's whack, or I can tell you the sonics in which made it whack. Most people can't do that. I understand that's an anomaly. Look that shit up. However, when people are trying to debate me in a music conversation and they're not having a music perspective, it's very difficult for me.
That's where DJs and journalists, we feel superior. Like we know music better than you.
I don't feel superior. I just think like
we're more knowledgeable music.
We're not having the same conversation. DDG's 27. He started rapping. He was a YouTuber.
Mm-hmm. He comes from the content.
He was a YouTuber who started rapping.
Yeah.
Doesn't produce, doesn't make his own beats, kind of just raps on whatever he wants to rap on, has no understanding of music production, of BPM, tempo, whatever, because I started asking him things like, what's Detroit sound? On the stream, I'm asking him. He's like, well, I like the Detroit sound. Oh, you don't know that what you like is tempo, but you don't understand the nuance of the music, so therefore why we don't even need to have this conversation. Again, that wasn't the place or time to do that, because when you do that, you start to alienate your audience, and then the audience rebels against you, and now you look like
his platform.
You look like the old nigga on the platform trying to explain to the students shit that they don't know, and they don't want to hear that shit. They just want you to just crash out or do something funny.
Or fit into his world.
That's it. Yeah. So those are not the platforms to like have those thought-provoking conversations like we can have here. So I don't even do that. That's why I'm just giving them one-word answers.
No, it was interesting. I also think he's more so networking now too. Like I see he did this like marathon streams and like he got more and more. They have artists coming over making songs with them, like creating a song.
Now that's
on
smart.
the spot.
Now
It's almost like a modern day Rap City in a sense, right? Instead of doing a freestyle, we're going to create a song together. Like, you know, Blackboy Max does that too. Like, I think that's interesting too. I will say, I think the thing is, it's not like anybody get on. I just think that, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but it's like we respect so much, and the youth respect so much just the mass numbers. Like, you literally see on the side, these many people are watching it. So the audience rules everything, right? If this streamer has this massive audience, then he's allowed a lot. He's allowed the power to book a lot of guests. He's allowed the power to what he says about the music matters as a record review in modern time because of the audience they produce. So
I agree.
We're just fled by numbers. So if your numbers are up, there is a barrier of entry. Not everybody can get in, but if you get in and you build an audience and your numbers are massive, those lines do get blurred. And you become an expert and authority just because of your audience consumption.
Are there a lot of elite rappers, Jeremy Hecht?
No, I don't think there's a lot of elite anything.
Correct. So when you're elite, you automatically are abnormal, or you're an obtuse figure, right? Mm-hmm. Look up obtuse. I think y'all did before.
Repo it up.
So the thing about rap is when you're elite, Jay-Z, Nas, you know, all these whatever. Also, if you look at the big three, right? You got Kendrick, you got Drake, you got Cole. I think what makes them the relatable portion is how you get those big numbers, because everybody can't be Hove. Everybody can't be this person. Everybody can't be Beyonce, which is also why you look at the streamers, right? You look at people who just have massive platforms. There are more me's than there are you's. So of course you're going to amass a bigger audience because I'm the anomaly. I'm the one that's gifted. I'm the one that's special. I'm the weird nigga, right? Because there's more, and I've said this too. If you look at Game, right? Mm-hmm. Game, the documentary, classic album. But there are more Kendricks than there are Games in the world. Because Game is outside in the middle of doing knucklehead stuff. Dot is in the house looking out the window at you doing knucklehead stuff. There's more actual good kids in mad cities than there are gangsters. So that makes you automatically more relatable, which is how you can amass a following faster than the genuine article.
Somebody once said, to be a star, you either have to be somebody that everyone wants to be or wants to be friends with. And it's tough. Like some of these stars, like you would aim to want to be them, but you know you never will. Right? Like, you know, you'll never be Jay-Z, the billionaire, you know, street hustler who's now successful and flipped his life around and has Beyonce as a wife. It's much easier for me to be like, oh, I want to be this person who's streaming in their bedroom. Like I could, and he's with rappers now. And it's like, I could do that. It gives you the sense of like, I could put myself in their position.
There's more Kai Cenats in the world than there are Kevin Harts. So of course, Kai is going to have an extreme audience because there are more hymns that exist than the elites.
You feel like you're winning almost. It's like, oh, that could be me.
Yeah.
Yeah, every man.
Well, do we want to transition to do we want to go lawsuit here?
We're rich in topics. We're going back to Drake?
You know what? Let's go back to Drake after. We were talking about album reviews. Let's do quick 5-minute album reviews because there was a lot of music that dropped. Okay. But let's start with Big Willie, okay?
Yeah.
Lord.
Will Smith album that everyone was waiting for, that Elliott was promoting heavily and was so excited for.
Heavily?
You let me know there was a Will Smith album. I credit you for this.
I announced it to the world.
You announced it to the world. Wilson, yeah. So
Will Smith.
What was your initial thought on Big Willie's new project?
Why are you gonna make me do this? I do not like it. No, not at all.
You weren't a fan?
No. It's you know what is funny about it? It's very it's almost like a gospel rap in a sense. Like there's a lot of like, you know, he does a whole reverend skit throughout it. Yeah. Like it's very gospel-y kind of. It's very theatrical. It almost sounds like the soundtrack to the Will Smith stage show or Will Smith play. Like it doesn't, you know, I just wanted something a little bit more straightforward of just, you know, him showing he still can rap well, you know, him rhyming over beats and just a little bit less like theatrics around it. And, you know, it just never really landed for me. Like I think I like the one song he has with Tiana Taylor on that. I think I rock with that song.
Hard Times.
Hard Times might be the best song in there to me, but it just felt very heavy and over the top and theatrical throughout the whole thing. And it's just like, it never really landed for me. And, you know, very gospel.
You don't like
hinged.
the Lord?
I love the Lord. And shout out to Miles Minnick. But I don't know. This is a big. I don't know if I want Big Willie all up in the church. You know what I mean? It just was, again. It just felt too theatrical. Like, more so than that, it felt too theatrical to me. Like, it felt like, again, a soundtrack.
You
to
wanted
a
this to have
stage
a
play.
visual to it almost, and like be like a video with it.
No, I don't like the artistic direction. You know?
Out of the
madness. And again,
madness.
and also when Will curses, it's still very jarring to me. I don't like him cursing. Now he's cussing too much.
Clean.
He went from not cussing to cussing too much, man. Slow it down, Big Willie.
Write one verse without a curse.
Write one verse without a curse, Big Willie.
Out of the madness, out of the maze, and out of the sadness, into the rays, the darkness of nights turn into day. The darkest of nights will turn into day, and every storm runs out of rain.
Bars.
Woo!
Is that from Isaiah?
That was some real shit. That was Will Smith, fool.
Let's go.
What song is
Modern
that?
day
Which one is
scripture.
that?
That was from what song was this? You Can Make It. It was very gospel-y.
That was a Friday one. I like that song.
Did it surprise you that it was so gospel?
It did surprise me. I like the Will Smith album. I could have did without 3-4 of them songs. But I did. But I did like. I like.
You
Will,
like it?
I like Will's talking shit,
You're giving him 10 out of 14 songs then.
bro. I don't remember fucking Jeremy Hecht.
Well, I'm giving you the number. You
How
don't
many
have to
mics? You
remember.
worked the source. How many
10
mics
out
you
of
get? You mean the
14.
4 mics album?
No,
3.5?
I don't know what the mic system is.
You know the mic system.
No, I'm saying, what do you?
You like 10 out of 14 songs.
4 is dope.
What's
know?
what's the criteria though? Like,
From 1 to 5.
nah, see, that's too broad. This shit got nuance. See, I
Now
wouldn't
you
be-
said you
that
like
mic
this
shit you was
album.
doing. That's why niggas be mad at you.
Oh,
I
yeah,
ain't
you're
fucking-
right. It's still
I
gotta
ain't
be.
fucking with it because there's nuance to it. Like, I don't remember how many songs that I like, Jeremy.
You
Hecht.
just said you could do without 4 songs.
I
There's
said
14.
I said I could do
3
without
without.
3 or 4 of them
Okay,
songs.
so then you like 11
and I
out
don't
of
So that's
14
the
remember.
majority
songs.
album, so it's a good album.
You don't run from it now. You said you
Okay,
like
let's go back.
11
So
out of 14 songs on
is
Will
it a
Smith's
W
album.
as a W in the chat or L in the chat? The Will Smith album is a W. It's a win. to
It's
you.
a W for me
Yeah.
because
It's an L to me. We'll go.
I like Will Smith. I like
We
him.
all love Will Smith. Sorry.
I like Will talking shit.
I don't think he talked enough shit, honestly, to me.
I like
without
him.
saying shit, without cussing. Like
I
want
like
more
them talking shit.
sharp bars. Without,
I like the growth. I like him being honest. I like him being vulnerable on the records. It was a couple of them that were too like I guess you call it theatrical.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say we call it crescendos in music. There's too much crescendo.
Yeah.
Um,
It's slightly overproduced, I felt.
look that
The
shit up.
sonic.
Too
Chat,
much. It was too over the
crescendo.
top.
Yeah.
Um,
I call it overproduced at times too, with certain records, right?
I wouldn't say it's
like,
overproduced. It was just a lot of theatrics, crescendos
Mhm.
with throughout the project. I would have liked more jams.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what
were
I'm
there
saying?
any slaps?
I did like one of the. Let me see which slap. I like. I was playing. Yeah, I played 2 of them on the radio.
did?
Last week. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Let me see which one did I play.
See, we get to play your shit.
He's making a case for the Will interview.
I can't
You
wait to
see
hear what
here?
Jeremy Hecht thinks.
Oh,
and I'm
You
not
Looking
going to
for
interrupt.
me? I played You Looking for Me, and I played Bulletproof on the radio.
Yeah, Bulletproof's a little too over the top for me, man.
Bulletproof. Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Those are the 2 I played on.
I vote L. Head votes W. What does Jeremy Hecht think?
Um,
Big Willie.
Okay, so here's the thing. I base my album reviews off of expectation majority of the time. Like, what did I expect of this person going in, and did they deliver close to that expectation? I had such low expectation. When I heard about the project, not that I wasn't excited.
My announcement didn't
Your
excite
announcement
you?
excited me that there's an album coming. But with that album, based on what I had heard prior, in recent time from Will Smith, my expectation was absolutely 0.
What was it that I am the something record? I am the light. I am the bulb.
Yeah, that
I am the bulb. I am the light.
What is it?
I am
I'm
the
a
star.
Pisces, but
I have
I
the mic.
identify as a Libra or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't.
I like the Russ verse on that song. And I did like the Friday song prior to.
Yeah.
And I know he's been working with Joyner Lucas and he has his writers and his team. I'm like, I was expecting bars to be semi on point, but songs to be not great. I liked the intro and I liked the second song. After that, I would say, what's the opposite of a crescendo? A decrescendo. It decrescendoed.
No, a crescendo is just an ensemble of sounds building up something, basically.
So when you hit the peak of a crescendo, what's like the other side?
Look behind you.
A crescendo, the loudest point reached in a gradually increasing sound, the highest point reached in a progression increase of intensity. So what's the reverse? Does it say up there?
The reverse would be called a what?
A descendo?
No. The reverse of a word is called... You're a journalist.
Oh, the reverse, not a synonym, but...
antonym.
An antonym, yes. So what's the antonym? But whatever the antonym of a crescendo was, I think from there, it just kind of went down. I couldn't I listened to the whole thing.
I had low expectations.
You have low expectations of journalists now, and so you won't be disappointed. But I did like the Friday song. So I like 3 songs out of 14.
So you ate it worse than I do.
But what I will say is, the reason why I didn't want to like bash the album is I love when people do what they want to do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very happy when people create as creatives. And if this is Will Smith wanting to create an album, I don't think we should have super high expectations of Will Smith album 15 years later of like, this is going to be the best. No, it's like he wanted to do this. He had a story to tell based on a true story. He had something to get off his chest, and he had art he wanted to put out in the world. Put your art out. What do you say? Put your slaps out, champ. Do what you need to do. And there's times where there's creatives who maybe they just wanted to use this as their outlet right now. And maybe he'll go back into movies right after. But
remember, he said he asked Hov and Kendrick, and they said, tell your truth, tell your story. So you feel like he did that.
I think he did that.
He did tell his truth.
Yeah, and that's why I love the first song. It's like him like kind of talking through the chatter of everything mentioned about him, and You Looking For Me is him kind of flexing still as to who he is. They just added a D on top of crescendo. Decrescendo. So I was right. Isn't that what I said? You said that, and then I used. Okay,
Alex,
so shout out to Alex.
Don't take the credit. Don't take the credit for a brown woman.
We said it.
Taking a woman's credit?
Taking a woman's credit? Wow.
All right, Alex said it. I repeated it.
It's a brown woman over there.
Okay, so that's Will. So I give it kind of meeting my expectations, but probably on the outside.
You give it a big L. Worse than me.
You gave it a W. 2 to 1.
White men hating.
2 to 1.
White men don't like that Will Smith album, man.
I fuck with Will Smith.
We all fuck with Will Smith. We love Will Smith.
You don't fuck with Will Smith.
I don't fuck with Will Smith.
You said he not hip hop.
I never said that. No, stop. Watch him out. Don't start now.
No, I want to know. Did you get a DM response?
I did not.
Oh,
of course not.
Okay.
I'm gonna play a DM later at the end of the show.
You gonna play a DM?
Yeah.
You got a voice note?
I got a voice note. Yeah.
Ooh, spicy.
I got pressed.
Yes.
I'm gonna share it.
This is exciting. Okay.
Yes.
Stick around to the end of the show. Stay tuned. Stay on
see
stream.
what rapper pressed me on IGDM.
Okay, moving on.
Take your bets in the chat right now. Who you think pressed me on the IGDM?
I think it's Childish Gambino. I hope so.
Want to go Durk?
Let's go Durk. Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
The hip hop artist. Lil Durk album. Elliott did press
Dirk
play.
is incarcerated.
He is incarcerated.
Elliott said he don't want to hear no slaps from the cell. Oh no, he recorded this before.
No,
yeah,
beforehand. I said I listened to it. It actually made me sad.
Yeah.
It made me sad.
The album did?
It did. Because there's some good songs in there, and it edited parts out and the whole thing. It's a good Durk album. It's not great. It's not as great as the last album. But the whole tone of it just made me feel sad that the brother's, going through his hardships, and it just just didn't feel right even listening to it, or just like I couldn't disconnect from knowing,
situation.
The projection of also of his career. Like he was kind of going up even more as an artist, and yeah, I thought there was some good songs in there. I don't feel like I would go back to the album though.
Yeah,
like it didn't stand out to me like certain songs, but I probably like DJ Head style 10 out of 14 songs or something like that. But I don't think I would go back to it. Yeah, I couldn't escape the reality of his current situation to enjoy the album, and I think that's also why I feel like it's slated to kind of underperform numbers wise.
I like the album in the beginning. Like in the beginning, it was good until we got to like right after like Vanish Mode, which is like, I mean, that's good, like 7 songs.
Yeah.
And then
so
the middle,
great first half.
The middle of the album kind of like teetered for me, and then like later on picked back up like, I'm gonna say like maybe like around 14, Think You Glowed. Oh no, the Huncho record was cool too. Actually, I like the Janae. Actually, it's only like 3 songs in the middle I wasn't really crazy about. But it's a solid Durk album. And I've always given Durk credit. The way he uses tune, I always say Durk uses tune the best in the game. because you can still hear his voice through the tune. Like, I don't know if he's layering or if he's...
like the effect on the auto-tune.
Yeah, the effect on the auto-tune is very minimal. It enhances the baritone of his voice. Look baritone up, chat. But, like, I think that Durk is one of them artists who could have been a generational artist. Like, had he not been in the situation. Also, there was a couple of songs on here that really, like, was dope to me. Soul Bleed was dope to me. The 1,000 Times thought he kind of like did too much, but he was kind of telling on himself a little bit in the record. I didn't really like understand that, leaving that on the album, given the circumstances, you know, especially with the thug shit going on. But we'll get to that. And then the song with him and Janae called Can't Hide It.
That's the single, right? I guess the real single?
Nah, the single was Vanish Mode. Okay. Well,
that was the Janae one was the next single though.
Yeah, the next one, whatever. But Can't Hide It with Janae, like how it starts off, it's like a skit. I think it's him and it's a chick, whatever. But he's talking about his transgressions with, you know, women and dealing with that stuff and whatever, and his girl and how he's married and like. I thought it was just some real shit, and I think that Durk is one of them artists who this is gonna sound disrespectful. I don't mean to be disrespectful. When y'all chop this up, put that in there, chat. But I think Durk does palatable pain music.
Palatable pain.
Yeah,
palatable
like
pain music.
Like palatable pain music to the point where I don't want to just jump off of something. After like listening to certain people's albums who do stadium tours, it make me want to go do something to myself. You know what I'm saying? Like Durk, I can listen to pain music.
Also, it hit me, made me sad, but with you, it's still palatable.
It's palatable pain music.
Broadwave is too much for you. Lil Durk, it's palatable.
I can't get through a whole ride wave album.
That pain annoys me too. I can't
get through a whole.
I tried.
Like I listen to
like 2-3 songs, and then I gotta go listen to some fucking some YG or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I gotta like, God damn, bro. Like nigga, you going through it for 10 years. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? God damn.
Sometimes you don't.
You ain't had one good memory in 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I gotta go listen to some.
Who hurt you? You're 25.
Yeah, I gotta go for this shit, right?
I gotta go listen to some 41 after that. But Durk does palatable pain music to the point where like I can listen to it and it's not pain, makes me depressed. It motivates me. So I think it's cool. I like it. I like that.
Hey, man, going last again.
Well, before I get my review, so do you like the Will Smith album better than the Lil Durk album?
No, I like the Durk album better than Will Smith.
Okay.
I do too. I agree.
Check
that.
Why? What was that for? Why you want to shit on Will Smith?
I wasn't shitting on Will Smith. I thought you were gonna go the opposite. I thought because you were standing pretty strong on that Will album. I just wanted to see where like.
Why both of y'all shitting on Will Smith?
I'm not shitting on Will Smith. Will Smith is a legend. I don't shit on legends.
You got a problem with Philly?
No, I don't want any. I don't want I don't want them to serve me up a cheesesteak.
We don't want Will Smith now. We see the
No. Yeah.
Well, no problems.
Yeah, that door they could walk through that door anytime.
Keep his album's name. No.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we're good.
Yeah, but no, Lil Durk, I think he delivered. Like, I think he came through with a very solid body of work. I was impressed melodically on some of them and even lyrically on a couple songs, like Keep On Sippin', I thought was a really cool concept.
I like that one.
Shaking When I Pray, same thing. Like, he got deep into his situation. He got into where he was at mentally. I will say, kind of to both your points, it was a tough listen. Some of this shit, I'm like, I believe Durk. I really believe when he speaks.
I believe him.
And there's not many rappers I believe. And he is on a short list of rappers I believe when he speaks. And it's hard when you believe someone and they're speaking about something like that and then you know the situation they're in. So like all of those three things correlating. I felt the same way. Rest in peace to King Von. Whenever King Von spoke about anything, I absolutely believed.
I couldn't listen to King Von.
I couldn't even get through a song. I'm like, this is too... So, and knowing their relation, like, it was just really tough to listen to. So I don't know that I'll go back to much of it. I am curious in terms of, let's say this is Lil Durk's unfortunately last album that he's able to record properly. You know, if his situation doesn't go well, like where do we see Lil Durk's career, his legacy, and what can he do from here to kind of continue to push himself? Music, like you said, you're not gonna listen if he drops another album in jail. Like where does he go from here? I guess, unfortunately,
I'm pretty sure he got a hard drive full of records that they can continue to see drop. I don't know if they could drop them 20 at a time. You know what I'm saying? Like to continue for years and years and years. And I don't know how much of a fan base he's been. Durk got a big fan base.
Yeah, he does.
Like, what's his monthly?
On Spotify, his monthly listener is 21 million.
Yeah, Durk. He's not gonna just go away just because he can't properly promote albums.
Yeah,
people. He got like him and Von. They're like Von's shit's probably still crazy if you look it up. Like,
and he didn't even have that much music.
I think it's the classic.
What's Von's shit?
11 million.
Yeah, bro. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's the cult. I think that's the challenge we always say we call it. Is it, are you a star or you're a superstar? I think Durk has established he's a star in hip hop. But the sad thing to me is that with that last record, he was on the verge of possible superstar. I mean, elevating his career even further. And I feel like these circumstances have changed that. So I think he remains a star, and it becomes more of if he never gets out and puts out all these other records he still had, he maintains a star and almost like a cult like following the same way Von has, and it's kind of infamous that way. But yeah, it's just a shame. It seemed like the ascension was more towards superstardom, and that got derailed.
Do you think that? Oh, go ahead. Do you think that we have? So you know how like we view certain artists who commit heinous crimes. Like, let's say, Puff got convicted of what he's accused of, or like R. Kelly or whatever the case may be. You know how like culture usually shies away from it, even the Ye shit, right? Culture usually shies away from it, depending on the I guess the degree of the inflammatory
itself,
right? If the offense, if Durk, let's say he gets found guilty of everything he's accused of, how does culture then deal with that if it's not, because it's still a loss of life?
Yeah.
And is the loss of life, do we look at culturally, do we look at the loss of life less than an offense on women?
No, it's a real conversation.
You know what I'm saying?
No, it's a real conversation. And in terms of like, where do we draw the line and how do we look at people? And I guess, even some of the people who I completely disagree with most of the things they're saying have made certain points like that, where it's like, why are we so okay with glossing over murder talk or selling drugs to the community or, actual killing, losing lives? And we're like, when someone says something offensive, we're kind of like quick to judge them and throw them under the bus. But when someone's actually doing things that are heinous and destroying communities and families, we're okay with it. It's an interesting question.
I asked that because I was having a conversation with, so I have like, homies that are like, they gay. I have like, I don't have any homies that are trans, but I do have gay homies, right? And it was a conversation like, that community was like, not that community. People were more outraged about Dave Chappelle than they are about black men killing each other. You know what I'm saying? And it was just more like, it was like, damn. And it's still a cultural conversation because it still affects hip hop. Because these artists are making drill music, they're making whatever. We just seen 2-3 people go down for murder for hire, which is insane. That's a capital crime. I don't know if you know that or not. Young niggas, YNs. But that's capital murder. So that's capital punishment, which means you be lucky to get life in prison. You know what I'm saying? Like that, you can't just hire somebody to kill someone. You know what I'm saying? That's insane. I was gonna say something crazier, but but I just think I was having this conversation actually yesterday about just people are so quick to just end someone's life that you didn't create. And I want to know, I guess, culturally, where do we kind of look at that? Whereas we haven't had anyone convicted of murder for hire yet in this generation of hip hop. Someone gets convicted. We seen Yellow Beezy, right? We seen Lil Durk. Someone gets convicted of murder for hire. Where does that then place them in the cultural conversation of like how we treat their music, or where do we look at them? Because even the shit that just happened with Sauce Walker and whatever, there was a loss of life in Memphis. There's loss of life all over the country all the time. So I want to know, like, why? One, I guess the question would be for Elliott, and then if you want to jump in too, but you have more of a lineage of perspective, being through multiple deaths and stuff like that. Why is it that a loss of life culturally isn't looked at like anything?
Oh, I think we're desensitized, and if it comes from the same community, it's almost like we look at it more like damn, Dirk could have been it, but he never could leave the life, right? He could never leave, or Vaughn, they could never leave the life. They came from these environments, these communities, carried themselves a certain way. And even though they got success with music, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, they still were part of this life. And I think that's how we look at it. And we're desensitized to the people that were victims of it. And it just seems like they grew up in these environments, and it seems like music could have been the big escape out the hood, out the ghetto, but clearly they still were running around doing things that were street activities that you thought that they would have to give up and then now live this life and become musicians fully. And I think that's what it comes down to. We always look at it like
desensitization across the board.
Yeah, desensitization of like this is the environment. It's fucked up, but it's gang culture. It's whatever. It's like they come from these places where this is your op and you're on this block and you're dealing and you're hustling and all these things going down, and we get desensitized to it. And more so, we look at the tragedy of this person didn't make it out the hood. It's fully, like he could never fully escape his environment or how he was carrying himself before he became a music star, and it's unfortunate. I think that's how we look at it, you know, good or bad.
Well, it's interesting because obviously I'm outside of a lot of this, but so two things. One, I never liked listening to, you know, my music taste. I never liked listening to rap where
making my way downtown.
Yeah, I'm more making my way downtown. No, but no, when it was street focused rap, I really never liked listening to anyone that didn't have a balanced perspective. Like I had
both.
I have a very tough time listening to a lot of the young kids that are coming up. I was never able to promote them. I was never even able to really listen when it's like even a King Von, I could never listen to King Von. It was too real for me. A, I didn't come from that perspective. But B, there's no real balance. It was like kill, but there's not, you know, like even Game had a bar on a song called Better Days where he said, if you kill a guy, help his mama dig his ditch.
Word.
Craziest bar ever,
Word.
But at least you're showing some kind of balance to this life and what it's doing to people.
I've actually seen that happen before on the East Side.
Which is like, you can't like.
In real life, like that's real. That bar is real. I've seen that happen.
Wow.
Jesus. So like to me that was too tough and I never liked the promotion of it. So I did always look at that as something that's like we shouldn't continue to promote. What I will say also is though I don't like when outsiders use, you know, black on black crime or like look at what they're killing each other. I hate when people use that as a talking point.
Yeah.
Like you see it a lot of the times on like as a right-wing talking point. We're like, why are we talking about police killings when they're killing each other? So I don't like that perspective either. But I do think there should be some sort of accountability when someone, especially if someone's found guilty. It's one thing about like, you know, the bars when someone's telling a story or when you get someone, you know, Kendrick talks about a lot of that from the outside perspective, being around it and shows like, here's what happens. Even on Good Kid, Mad City at the end, they get baptized, right? They're like, okay, we've been doing something wrong. How can we clean ourselves from this? Or even as much as I don't love a lot of Pusha T's raps for that reason, because it feels like there isn't that much balance. You see it on like a song like Snitch, right? You see like him at least giving both perspectives. So A, I think you need perspective from what the consequences are for your actions in the music, and then B, when there are real life consequences, I do think we need to look at these artists with the same lens that we would look at someone who's convicted of abusing a woman. Or I mean, the tough part, I guess, too, is though the circumstance you come from, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can't really just blame it all on circumstance. R. Kelly was raped as a kid. We don't say just because he was raped, this is okay.
No.
So we still have to give people consequences.
Listen, YNs. You can't take someone's life that you didn't give, nor should you probably take anyone's life that you did give, but you can't just take people's life. You can't hire people to harm other individuals. You can't act without reproach. Look that one up. You can't act without consequence. And you cannot be out here, quote unquote, crashing out because there are cameras everywhere. You're going to get to jail, and someone is going to tell on you. Whoever's in the car with you, whoever you hire, whoever you send money to, whoever you put money on their books, they're going to tell on you. You're going to go to jail forever. And once you go to jail, there's no more, what do they call them? Joints or little shits. There's no more little shits when you go to jail. I just learned that one. Shout out to, who did I just have? Not Rob49. I just talked to somebody.
What the helly?
Yeah,
what the hell, Elliot?
Nah, Party. Talk to Party. Little shits. There's no more little shits in prison. You know what I'm saying? Unless you get married and you get conjugal, but that's every quarter.
There could be big shits.
You know what I'm saying?
Big shit popping.
Yeah, there's no more fun. So please conduct yourself accordingly.
Well, we were talking about, street storytelling. I feel like somebody who doesn't get enough credit for his ability to storytell is YG. And I think we always talk about the Kendrick album and his album being kind of parallel to each other, of one of them being inside and actually living life, the other one kind of documenting from a little bit outside while still having one foot in the door. I think YG's storytelling ability is so raw, and he's able to do it in a way that most people couldn't. Like the way he starts off this new song, 2004, you played us like 2 bars last time. We didn't hear the full
last week.
Yeah,
we were on top of that
game.
DJ Hed. You know what I mean?
And so you hear those 2 bars, you're like, this is. But then he actually he like kind of draws you back, but then he explains the story and goes into it in a way that I think this will actually inspire a lot of people as well. Like the same way Kendrick, Mr. Morale might have inspired the culture to be more open about things or more open about therapy. YG telling his story in a way where we know YG's persona. Like his persona's a gangster. And he's telling a story about how he was taken advantage of in a way that I think culturally women aren't ever looked at in a predatory way. It's always looked at from the point of like, even fathers, they look at their kids and like, oh, like, we've seen other rappers hire women for their sons. We've seen stories of high school where the teacher is having sex with a kid and all the guys are like, I would do it too. Like, oh, you look at her, she's bad. Like, so for him to actually take the step and talk about it from the perspective of, yeah, I liked it, but I was taken advantage of. And this isn't right. Like, she was twice my age. I think that'll open up a lot more stories.
I think YG did it his way. I played the snippet for you just for shock value. Yeah. Like, wait, what did he say? Yeah, like, opening the song. As soon as the song come on, like, hey, this is going down. But I thought the visual was down. If you haven't seen the visual, go check out the visual for 2004. But I thought it was very interesting for him to do this. I talked to YG yesterday too. He told me something that he might talk about it soon, but I want y'all to revisit this moment when he does.
Here he goes again.
I'm sorry, I don't violate for clicks, but you're gonna get a different YG.
Yeah, so I was thinking we get an album where he's giving more introspective or more informative, insightful thing. You know what amazes me too? Like I remember when Damn came out and the song where you talk about his father almost getting robbed by Top Dog, right?
Yeah.
And it's funny how like I was like, that's such a ridiculous, amazing story. Like, how did he wait so long to tell that story, right? Like that you think that would be on Good Kid, Mad City or something like. But it's amazing to me how all these artists, you think you know them, but people have so many. Our lives are so crazy, all of us, and it's just like to finally at this point tell that truth this long in his career. You have to applaud. It just shows that hip hop is real art, right? It's like you have to get to a point where you could tell these stories, right? It just didn't come out in the first album, the second album. So I'm just amazed by that too. It's like I want to know more about someone and like whatever their truth is. And a lot of times it may take you years to get to that truth as an artist, and it's great to see that progression.
People think like to Hecht's point, people have a certain view or perspective on YG, but they have no idea
who he really is, or
they have
the other side of him. Yeah.
They have no idea, bro. YG is so layered when it comes to like the type of person, the type of human he is, the type of homie, the type of friend he is. He gonna show up, and I'm trying to figure out a way to encourage him to talk about everything, like just like on some. Here it is.
Yeah.
And I haven't figured out a way to get him to talk about, because like for instance, his last album with one of my favorite YG songs ever is called Nokia. It was on his last album. If you notice, there was no promotion for that album. There was no videos.
It was kind of
independent, right?
He didn't do no interviews. He shot videos.
Never put them out.
No videos ever came out. You didn't see any promotion. There was no interviews. Nothing. Yeah. He just dropped the album and completely went away. Right. The last album.
Why do you think he did that?
What was it?
Just read up 3.
Correct. There's a reason for that. It ain't my story to tell, but there's a reason for that.
Okay.
And I'm trying to figure out a way to convince him to like
tell his full truth. Tell him what. Give us more truth. Tell us more truth.
Let it all go, bro. And I think that if he were to do that, that would be a pivotal moment in his career that people would be like, oh shit, like YG is some shit. Like YG is to be respected as an artist.
Yeah.
I think I loved what you just said, because it made me think about how we always we always want artists as fans to tell us like their life update or what they've been up to. But what happens is a lot of their life becomes stale to the audience because they get so successful that it's not relatable. Like someone will be on top of the world and then they're talking about being on top of the world. And it's like, well, I'm not on top of the world. I can't really relate to this. And then they just keep going to the studio, living a lavish life, talking about it. And so I think we get bored with a lot of our artists over time. This isn't just specifically a hip hop thing. This is just like a massive artist thing. But I think to your point, there's so many layers to your life that happens before you get famous. Even if you get famous at 21, like there's a lot that happens in your life. And so more artists should actually, I think, be inspired to talk about their early life in ways that they haven't before. There's so much story to tell.
Different perspective too. Also, they're looking back at it. Like that's what therapy is, right? Look back on things and see how little Elliott became this person, and like what happened there, like what that progression was. So yeah.
Yeah. So shout out to YG. Did you guys listen to the NAV album?
No.
I like the single with Metro Boomin. Him and Metro Boomin made good records.
I actually am okay with that.
Yeah. I think he's more. I think we all look at Nav like, you know, people make fun of Nav, but I do think Nav is talented. But I think he makes good songs. He has every album he puts out, he has one or two or three good songs to me. But it's not like I want to listen to the full album and really sit with it. But there's another joint in there he has that Weezy produced, producer Weezy.
I think I listened to one more song.
It's called wait, go up. Is it Burbs? Burbs. I like Burbs too. I like Burbs and I like and there's one at the end too. It's a sing song you want. Get to You? Yeah, Get to You. So I like Burbs, Get to You, and the joint he has a Metro, the single. But yeah,
I think I listened to one of these. I don't remember which Nav song I listened to, but
it's better than Will Smith's album. But you know what I'm saying?
Don't do that.
It is though.
Don't do that.
Okay, my bad.
You want me to do a needle drop? Let me see.
Not the DJ is about to react to
the other trick game.
The reactors may sit there and listen to the whole album.
I'm not gonna do that to Nav because I've been critical.
You drop that needle drop on Nav, man.
I don't get the Nav thing.
Okay.
Is that disrespectful?
No, a lot of people don't.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't think he's connected fully with people yet.
The DJ had needle
Don
drop.
Tolliver,
yeah.
Nav needle drop.
That's still Don.
Look at that grooving. Why is Jeremy over giving his review last?
It's because I brought it up.
Let's play Boy.
Is there a Nav dance?
I could probably do something with that.
Okay.
Let me see.
That was Burbs. You know, like the private beach? He was at a private beach. She helped him find his melody.
That's the Metro. Let me see. Metro's cool.
He wanted the purple stuff,
and you just stuff.
He literally said, "Keep going," and you didn't.
So
he's falling apart, and you're just skipping his album.
I got the Unlimited song with Playboi Carti, and
you like the Metro song too.
The Metro. That's what I got for you.
You know what Nav does? Nav sounds like more the behind the scenes person. Like he, to me, has a good ear for music, comes up with melodies, can also make beats. It's almost like he probably long term isn't destined to be the star. He probably would be better to find an artist and.
Damn.
No, but you know somebody's a better behind the scenes person. Like he seems like that.
He's a great producer. He's a great producer.
That's a diss. You ever heard of background singers and shit? Or producers and
I actually do agree with you.
He's more of a producer. He's more of a producer than an artist. Everybody's not meant to be the main star.
Why is he not?
He obviously, to me, like he probably secretly gave Travis Scott some slaps that probably we don't even know about. Yeah. Like to me, he's a behind the scenes. He's a producer more than the art. He's not meant to be the front facing person. Because it
hasn't connected.
Because your needle drop hasn't connected. You're not connected to him. His presence is persona.
I just never really understood the Nav thing.
Okay, so you don't understand him. I'm saying, but I'm shooting him more bail, saying, but I hear the town. I know what things have worked for him. He does have a good ear for music, and I think he's talented. I think he's destined probably be more of a producer, arranger, someone behind the scenes. in the credits, but not the front-facing star. Huh?
I'm gonna shoot him some bail too. I think
saving Nav.
I think you're right, but I also think that he not talking to me.
No, he's talking to a certain Canadian sound. You can hear the Weeknd influence, the Drake influence, and the certain. I mean, does it connect more with you, Jeremy?
Well,
being from Canada,
don't put this on my shoulders.
No, I think he's talking to women.
Well, he's trying to. Yeah, he makes songs for women too.
Yeah, I think he's talking
Sexy
to women.
Songs,
He's not talking
Sexy
to
songs?
me. He's not talking to me. So it's unfair for me to critique it. Like you said, this song is for me too, motherfucker. No,
You love that.
I don't agree.
Apparently, we are the authority on whether or not an artist is speaking to
Who
women.
said that?
We're the authority. We get to tell artists whether or not they were actually speaking to women. So you're telling Nav he was actually speaking to women. So that's good.
Who said that we the authority?
We became the authority. We became it.
Your sexy songs reviews.
Yeah, our sexy songs reviews
went viral. Your sexy songs views.
I'm not bigger than the program, champ. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I'm not the authority in nothing, bro.
Are you calling women champ again?
I'm calling everybody champ.
But no, I think Nav, I actually have the same thought. Very good at melodies, very good at producing. Like, and that's clear. He's worked with whenever he works with a Travis or even on the Don Toliver song.
Some shit.
He for sure has.
He's ghostwritten some shit.
He for sure has. And he's good at creating a mood, creating a sonic. A lot of the early Nav stuff, even though it was Toronto influenced and there was, some Weeknd influence, he had his own sound. He definitely sounds like Nav. But
he produced back to back.
He produced back to back.
Back to back.
He produced back to
back. Meek Mill.
But I will say some people have trouble. We talked about being a star and a superstar. Yeah. They have trouble connecting beyond their music. And I think you were talking about that earlier with the big three, where like that's the reason why those three have stayed at such a high level, because they were able to connect with the audience at a level that was much further beyond some of their peers. And so
yeah, I think like that one quick thing to interrupt him. Sorry, Jeremy. Please, I'm sorry. Don't hit me.
What
I think Nav actually has hits, but he's not. But he's not a star.
Yes, and I think both of those things can be true. So he wants to be a star, which is fine, and
he wants to be a superstar.
And I think, like he says on the album, keep going, like keep dropping music. He clearly has. The two songs that you liked were actually the two singles, so you know how to pick. You know how to A&R project.
DJ
Hed A&Ring.
Get that shit on Media Base.
Yeah, I didn't love it. But I think Nav has a role in the game, and as a role player, like we talk about. I'm not comparing Nav to Quentin Miller, but you look at the Quentin Miller song. I'm not.
Damn.
Because he actually
go ahead and cook.
I'm not doing that.
Talk about behind the scenes.
Nav period. Quentin Miller, the songs sounded okay at best when you hear the Quentin Miller reference tracks. Drake's, one of his big skills is his tone, the way he has presence on a song, his melody, his ear for, like, he was able to make some of those reference tracks into hit songs. I don't know that many artists can do the same thing. And so there's a lot of people putting music out that just sounds like the reference rather than the star singing
it. So you're saying that Drake is exceptionally good at taking something that probably didn't necessarily belong to him and putting his spin on it and making it palatable to the masses? That's what you just said?
That is one of his skills. He is also, I think...
No, but I'm just asking if that's
gifted writer in his own right.
He is also a gifted rapper.
No, I know.
Writer in his own right.
Was that what you was just making reference to? You was just saying that?
Yes, I guess that is similar to what
Oh, God, Quentin Miller's on the show?
Yeah,
God damn it.
Yeah, shout out to Quentin.
What year is this?
QM. Yeah, this feels very if you're reading
with my woes. Running through the street with my woes. I miss the woes, man. I can't run through the street with these woes.
It's just a
running
homie.
Through the street. Woes.
What is that though? Is that some Canada shit?
Yeah, it's Canadian side.
Is that like Canuck?
No one ever actually says Canuck.
You ever used to run with your woes, Jeremy?
Me and the woes were running around. Yeah, we were jogging. You know what I'm saying?
How many woes you got?
I kept the circle small.
How many woes though?
Like 4 or 5 woes.
Running around in the cold too. It's cold out there.
The
if Toronto is the 6, what is Winnipeg?
I try. It's 204. I tried to call it the Win City because Win is in the name. It didn't catch on. The W, you could call it.
No.
The head look is underrated.
No.
What? I can't.
There's only one W.
Hed look
Okay,
away.
fine. So it's the 204.
Too.
The 204.
But Hed doesn't look away? That's incredible. He's all disgusted.
Yeah. Sometimes he'll do this too. Sometimes he'll throw the head back. Well, there were, speaking of
lawsuit
of that guy,
Drake,
there were some.
Drake,
yeah,
Drake
there
there,
were.
he's there.
We started with Drake. We'll end with
Okay,
Drake.
so can I have one question
Yes.
for the lawsuit? And it's progressing, right? And
Yeah.
go, let's see Kendrick's contract. I still don't understand, and I think I'm very knowledgeable. What is ultimately Drake's end goal with this? What does he want to achieve? Does he want Universal to say, hey, we was wrong and we shouldn't have pushed that record and we should have made Champ change the artwork with the house and shit and all that, and here's $10 billion. Like, and then what? You stay signed to us, so you take your $10 billion and you create OVO records, you know, on a real scale. Like, what does he really want to achieve? Like, what is the actual end goal?
I would assume some financial compensation. I'm walking like, shout out to Justin Hunt. He said Drake is acting like I'm walking away with something. I'm leaving here with something. I may have lost this battle, but I'm taking home something.
Elliott. Well, actually, no, not you. Have you ever?
Have you ever?
Have you ever? Watch it from the West Coast. You have me asking me have you ever? I'm scared.
Have you ever?
I haven't, DJ. I haven't.
Have you ever dealt with an irate woman?
Of course I've had. I have had it too.
Has she ever become irate to the point of where logic no longer exists in her thoughts?
Yes.
Okay.
Which is why I'm asking, what's the end goal? I'm seeking understanding. There is no understanding to be found. So he actually doesn't really know what he ultimately wants.
Did the woman who was irate with you, did she know what she wanted at the time? Could you have a sound conversation with her as far as what she wanted?
Sometimes.
Well,
no, but in this case, this is your record label, right? And I don't understand. So again, his whole catalog's been with this one record label. Okay, if they do admit that they lost or they lose to him, right? That relationship is severed, I assume, right?
Probably.
Okay, so and they're one of the there's only 3 big record labels, and they're one of them. Yeah, what is your career? Does he walk in the sunset? He becomes the actor with his $10 billion and
Jeremy
fuck
Hecht.
rap? Like, I don't know what the real end goal is. Do you know? I don't. Jeremy Hecht say he doesn't know. He doesn't think he has one. What is the end goal? And I actually put in the chat, all you Drake stands, W in the chat. Tell me what does he really want to achieve? He wants to be proven right that he was done wrong by his record label. I get that. But what is the actual win? What does the win look like? It's just compensation?
It's a win for all artists, Elliott.
Yeah,
you don't
yeah,
understand. He's going against the system.
You're
defending the record label, Elliott.
I am. Because I don't think the record company made that song a smash. I get that they could have stepped up and done more of like, change that artwork, champ. That's not cool with the houses or something like that. Like they could have done some things like that could have shown more of a fairness or even I think they ran with a hit record, but I think that it was a hit record organically at first and became a hit record without, not because Universal pushed the record on us or, like it was some label heavy-handed push that made us love that record. We love that record. It's a hit record. So, yeah, I think he wants them to admit wrongdoing in their role of it, but I don't understand really what he ultimately wants. I think he wants to make music for a long time. He's going to sever ties with the biggest label on the thing. And he doesn't seem like he really wants to be a real independent artist per se. He's never shown us that yet. So I get that compensation will look crazy. Music industry news, Drake wins a massive $5 billion record deal. We'll talk about it forever, but then what is the real goal? Outside of that, I don't see it.
Well, what was really interesting about this, I don't have an answer to that. But what was interesting about the findings so far, so they're allowed to stay discovery in the case, which means they're allowed to continue to look into documents. Documents are going to be handed over. They said that Kendrick's contract is going to be handed over. CEO John Janik of Interscope, they're going to look into his bonuses. They're bringing like executives into this. What I will predict...
Yeah, why is the staff laughing? Why y'all laughing?
Oh, it was Hed falling asleep? Oh, he was so entertained. No, it's a low blood oxygen.
No, fool.
Oh, this isn't. This is actually falling asleep.
Well, yeah, low blood oxygen. But my levels are going up, though.
Okay.
I'm at 89% capacity now on my red blood cells.
Yeah, there you go.
Lawsuits make you sleepy? Lawsuits make you sleepy?
No, it's just... I'm not as entertained by clowns now that I'm a grown man.
You don't like going to the fair? Or the carnival?
Fair? What are you, in Kansas?
The carnival.
The carnival?
What do you mean? That's what clowns
So you
are.
feel like there's nothing to
Clowns
really
are at the carnival. Am I
there's
wrong?
nothing for Drake to really win here. Even him getting a big bag, let's say. Does that a win to you? Like, does that matter? Does it matter if UMG has to pay him some sort of money in the end?
He's probably, I must say, probably an alleged because, people, they like to sue. Allegedly, he's probably lost deals and money and things like that. I'm sure through various outlets and resources that are available to him. So he probably wants compensation for that. I don't think you should get it, though. And I don't think you should get it from the label because the label didn't tell you to engage in this. Now, if you acted upon the advice of someone, that's a different story, but that's not the case, right? If Elliott Wilson tells Jeremy Hecht...
I'm always an example. I hate that. Okay, if I tell
Example,
Jeremy, okay,
Elliott.
we're in the room. This is us. Okay,
if Elliott Wilson tells Jeremy Hecht to go crash out and do something egregious, right? And then Jeremy Hecht then gets in trouble for it, and Jeremy Hecht is like, well, shit, if Elliott's the one who put me up to it, that's different. If Jeremy Hecht just go crash out, why the fuck are they suing Elliott Wilson? Just because you the EP of the show? The fuck are you talking about? Stupid.
I have a prediction. I think by the time this is released on Saturday, we're filming on Thursday, this case will be dismissed and Drake will have a payout. I do not think that these documents are going to be leaked. I don't think Universal is just going to be like, yeah, sure, let's give up. If they're giving out Kendrick's contract information, that'll affect the way other artists are viewing their contracts. It's going to be an uproar. If they're giving out their bonus incentive information, that is not going to be good for Universal Music Group. I think they settle. Whether they should settle or not is a different different story. I think they're going to settle.
Now.
I don't think they're going to release those. I could be wrong. This is Saturday. They could put up a fight.
So they give Drake compensation and they stay in business with him?
And they just, no. I don't think they stay. I think they sever ties with Drake.
So then what, Drake just takes a big deal
and he goes somewhere else.
Sony or whatever?
Or he creates his own label structure with like a distro company or something like that.
And then he's fighting for his masters?
And then and that's another battle. But the last thing I did want to say that a lot of people haven't mentioned is, so the Inner City Press was doing live tweeting from inside the building. And the one thing that they basically said was, one of the big allegations was that there were bots, right? That there was bots to help boost inorganically the Not Like Us song to make it bigger than it was. Now, basically what they've said in the court from the reporting is that they don't have enough information so that the bot allegation can even go through. So they have to remove the bot allegation from discovery. So there's no documents that were proven or shown to showcase that there was bots. So at the very least, what they have to admit right now is that the song organically was a hit. And I thought that was interesting.
Oprah meme. Yes, organically. I thought it was again.
They said about the use of streaming farms, we have exchanged letters. We intend to withdraw those. But it's a tiny portion of our complaint. That's what the lawyer said, Drake's lawyer. But yeah, we'll see. I could be wrong. All right, we're getting the rap sign. We're getting the
spotlight.
Spotlight, is that? Yeah, that's a spotlight. Okay.
You go first, Jeremy, because you've been going last at every segment.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
And I won't interrupt you.
Okay.
Unless I want to.
Unless you want to. A few spotlights. Okay, one, Jessie Reyes album. I thought was phenomenal. Canadian.
I was gonna say, repping for your people.
Yes, she great. My guy Lakon on the intro, beautiful vocals, and just overall great pop R&B album. Love that. If you haven't, go check it out.
I heard it's really good.
It's really good, really good. My guy Carl Angelo, who is a Filipino artist from LA. Our guy Jay just shot a music video for him. His song has been blowing up. And he's super dope. They're calling him the Filipino Kendrick. That's what they're calling him in a lot of high standards to meet. So I'm not calling him that. That's what people in the there was a post that said LA. This is LA Filipino rapper Carl Angelo.
Let me see.
Or you want me to go to his
No,
actual
just
Instagram?
give me what you drop. Okay. God damn it.
Well, it's not his actual page.
What you mean it's not? I just got
That's a screenshot. So I was doing up something. I'm saying if you want me to
I was just seeing if I know him.
Oh. Yeah, he's dope. Super. You don't know him? Well, no, you said you don't even care because if it's a mutual follow from DJ Hed, then it doesn't matter because you might have just accidentally scrolled and clicked on the toilet. And yeah, so shout out to him. Go check out his song. And my boy Jen Wunner. I know you might not be a fan.
Who the fuck is that?
Pokemon Rage Rap.
Oh.
He just did a show at SOB's. Guess who commented on his page and said, "I want in"?
Cool.
Jay Electronica.
Are you serious?
Jay Electronica came out of the woodwork. The best rapper that never was, the mythical Pokemon himself, commented and said, "I want in." So Gen 1er featuring Jay Electronica could be coming soon. Are you excited? Are you excited?
Yeah.
All right.
Hed, what you got, buddy?
Go ahead.
No, I got to crash out, man.
He has to play a voice note to close out.
Oh, you got to crash out. All right.
Yeah, I told you a rapper, you know what I'm saying?
Let me see.
I'm gonna spotlight his record. He got pressure on me, man. You know what I mean? I'm folding like a steel chair in a wrestling match.
I want to spotlight two people. Rob 49, what the hell he came
Yeah,
out.
I'm into that now. I'm on the bandwagon.
What the hell yeah.
And Currency called me what the hell he is, so I'm running with that.
I wasn't on board, but I like Rob 49, man. He's cool.
Did Justin Bieber's cosign get you?
No.
Did the Gina Views cosign get you?
No.
That video Gina shot. I saw that. Congrats.
I don't give no. She shot. We had an interview with him. It's about to drop.
Yes, sir.
But also, can I do a throwback spotlight or don't?
Yes, go ahead.
Hey kids, go look up Shorty Low.
Oh, you had me listening to that. I didn't know it was on streaming.
Hey, Eunice in the City. Go find that album. I don't think it's on. I don't think Eunice in the City is on streaming. But go get a bar of that album.
You had me pumping Foolish.
I like that song, bro. I like Shorty Low, man. He rest in peace of Shorty Low.
He had some shit.
He's an Atlanta legend, but we
need his shit on streaming in the proper way. I don't know what we got to do.
That's the point of me bringing it up. I found Foolish.
Yeah, that's a bootleg.
Right. Yeah. I found Foolish, but I have the album because I'm a DJ. I have the album itself on my computer, but I want to stream Shorty Low. So I don't know. I know my dude Swamp Pizzo used to fuck with him and his team. Shout out to DJ Swamp. Shout out to DJ Swamp Pizzo. He fuck with Cardi now, but back in the day he's fucking with Shorty Low. That's how I met him. Like over 10 years ago. So Swamp, I'm gonna call you, but whoever running Shorty Low's estate, get his stuff up on streaming. It's important to the culture.
Absolutely. I'm shouting out Anicia, her new joint with Caribou and Glorilla. Great look for Caribou.
I love Caribou.
Post Yachty raps. Oh, it's still there. Okay, so here's a DM. So that the other spotlight, I'm gonna spotlight this gentleman's song after he called me. But let's see.
Problem with me, Elliott? Straight up, man to man, my nigga. Coming at you like a man, like a grown man. You do like, what's the issue with me and you? Let me know. Cause I don't know. So I'm coming at you in private instead of doing some hoe ass nigga shit, tweeting you, and I ain't got time for that, my nigga. I got the top 10 record right now, nigga. Like I ain't got time for that. But I wanna know what the issue is though, my nigga. A couple of my niggas send me this tweet talking about you won't, like, where that energy coming from. That's what I wanna know. Holla at me man to man. Don't go posting no shit. Don't do that weak shit. I'm coming to you man to man. And I highly respect you. I always bigged you up, said that you one of the most, you the pioneer of this shit. Elliott Wilson is one of the ones that I do, one of the only niggas I do an interview with. Niggas like you, Sway, and all that. Nigga, I'm a real hip-hop baby. So let me know right now, nigga, what's your issue with me? Because a lot of my homies just sent me some shit, and I just want to know where that energy coming from.
Is that right? Is that Playboy Cardi?
Bow Wow.
That's a
Chad! No! You got pressed by Bow Wizzle, the king of Ohio, Mr. Sell of the Garden at 13.
Can you play it again?
The GOAT. Let's run it back.
You guys didn't really know who it was?
No.
No.
I haven't heard.
You knew? At least knew?
Just can you play it?
I'm
now
way
that I know
more
who
excited.
it is, I want to listen differently.
Yeah, I'm so much more
excited.
excited.
Hearing me get pressed. That's
I just want to hear it.
I'm so excited.
Oh, God.
Hey, my nigga, you got a
Put it
problem with
in.
me, Elliott? Straight up, man to man, my nigga. Coming at you like a man, like a grown man. You do like, what's the issue with me and you? Let me know. Cause I don't know. So I'm coming at you in private instead of doing some hoe ass nigga shit, tweeting you, and I ain't got time for that, my nigga. I got the top 10 record right now, nigga. Like I ain't got time for that. But I wanna know what the issue is though, my nigga. A couple of my niggas send me this tweet talking about you won't, like, where that energy coming from. That's what I wanna know. Holla at me man to man. Don't go posting no shit. Don't do that weak shit. I'm coming to you man to man. And I highly respect you. I always bigged you up, said that you one of the most, you the pioneer of this shit. Elliott Wilson is one of the ones that I do, one of the only niggas I do an interview with. Niggas like you, Sway, and all that. Nigga, I'm a real hip-hop baby. So let me know right now, nigga, what's your issue with me? Because a lot of my homies just sent me some shit, and I just want to know where that energy coming from.
Why? What did you tweet about Bow Wow?
Yeah, what did you do to Bow? Chad?
Shout out Bow Wizzle.
You shot him out?
Shout out Bow Wow. I have no problem with Bow Wow. I love Bow Wow. I'm squashing to be fair. It has a song out with Chris Brown, which I wasn't aware of, right? So, you know, I post a lot of shit. So I hate when people on Twitter be trying to tell me what to post or some shit. You know, get that Bow Wow and Chris Brown shit up. They're like, can't wait for you to post this. And I was just like, it's like, oh, somebody's like, what are you posting or whatever? Bow Wow Brown was like, and I said, I won't. And I said, ha. I won't and ha. And then I
with
just
an
moved
exclamation
on.
point?
Huh?
Exclamation point.
Yeah, because I heard the song. The song is cool, but the song is like, I'm not the biggest fan of a Hitmaker production. He's flipping the Ja Rule shit, the Murder Inc. song. It sounded like a typical record. Bow's rapping pretty good. Chris Brown singing. It just didn't grab me. But the guy was saying like, you gonna post it right now? I was like, I won't. Like fooling around. I was like halfway serious. But it's funny how people be scouring the internet and all his homies send him that, and it looks like I'm really coming at him. And it's just like I just dismissed the record. I heard it once. I was like, I'm not going to post it immediately because somebody pressed me on the internet. Or they didn't even press me. Playfully said, you going to put that shit up next? And I'm like, I won't, ha. Like, you know, wait for you to post. I was like, I won't, ha. Like, that's all I meant. It wasn't that deep. But, you know, Bow Wow, you know, I'm from the XXL years. Bow Wow's, you know, he's a little bit of a hothead. He sees some shit he don't like. He addresses it right away. So I respect him for that. But yeah, I have no problem with him. I have respect for him. And listen to his song. I think it's called Use Me. Bow Wow, Chris Brown. Check it out. He's on tour right now. I don't want no problems, Bow Wizzle. It's all good, brother.
So what, did you respond to him?
I have not. This is my response.
I was gonna say though.
Why would you? But he said
don't respond in the public
because
platform.
I don't like that. I chose to share it publicly because it was a public tweet that started. I choose to share it publicly because there's no real issue with me and him. I don't, like he said, I've interviewed him a couple times. I've known him through the years, XXL years. Like I respect him. It's a misunderstanding. I just quickly dismissed the record. It wasn't trying to attack him. He's having a great moment right now. He's on tour. He's got the record with Chris Brown. I guess radio's on it, as he said. This is top 10, whatever. Keep doing it, my guy. I want no problems. It's like, so I wanted to publicly say it. I chose to publicly say it.
So
that was wrong?
Well, he said that he don't want to do it that way. Or
okay.
Can you see how he might be upset now if you played his voice note publicly where he said, I don't want to come at you online, let's talk man to man, and you played it publicly without responding to him man to man? Can you see how now he could be upset with you? Still.
Okay, so then I'll hit him back and say I addressed it on the show.
There you go.
I'll give him the heads up.
Okay.
Okay. That's
okay. All right. So
that's fair. But he still requested. He still requested that. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, shout out to Bow Wow. I don't, that's interesting. I didn't know that you had.
Did you know Use Me is out? Bow Wow featuring Chris Brown? So, I don't know what Media Base is doing, but it's a song.
Did I know what?
His new single with Chris Brown. That's the whole point. No. Bow Wow Use Me. Okay.
But is he indie now?
Probably indie.
Yeah, I think. But yeah, shout out to Bow Wow. Well, now he has his response from Elliott Wilson. I think, you know what I think too is I think that's what I was trying to explain to you. I think you don't understand your.
No, there's a lot of times in private I'll keep things private.
No. But I'm not fuck the public shit. I'm saying I don't think you understand how people view you and why they feel they have a visceral reaction to the things that you do and say how you move, because you still mean something to people, and when you conduct yourself that in a way that's unbecoming of their expectation, like what Jeremy was saying, if they come in with low expectation, nobody got a problem with you. I'm pretty sure 5-year foreign don't give a fuck about what you say, right? But people who do and know, it's like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? It's a dig or whatever. And then also you have to take an accountability that a lot of these people aren't reacting to what you said. They're reacting to how other people reacted to what you said.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, like, comment, subscribe, chat. They finna run out a memory card. Make sure you come. Make sure you come back. And
should Elliott play that shit or not?
And do all that. You know what I'm saying? We'll be back next week with more of the bigger picture. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the GOAT.
Winnipeg.
Winnipeg.
The bigger picture.
That was so entertaining for a last. That was a great.